Yeah, good morning, Naik sir.
Good morning, Rohit. Good morning.
Morning, sir. And
Good
still,
morning.
guests are not joined yet, sir.
Who has joined till now? Nobody.
Nobody, sir.
They will join me. Time is not there to vote for purpose.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Manas sir is joining.
Manas da has joined. Namaskar. Jogesh ji.
Good morning,
Very good
sir.
morning.
Good
Very
morning,
good
Manas sir.
morning.
संक्रांत की शुभेच्छा, मकर संक्रांति की.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Manas da, namaskar.
নমস্কার
নমস্কার, কেমন আছেন?
নমস্কার ভালো
হ্যাঁ, খুব থ্যাংক ইউ ভেরি মাচ। ওয়েলকাম টু পাটনা ভার্চুয়ালি।
am I audible
You are completely audible.
okay thank you
Completely audible.
thank you
We are waiting for the another vice chancellor.
Sure.
Yeah, Upender Dhar sir is joining with us, sir.
Upinder sir join.
Yes, sir. He is now joining with us.
Acha, very good.
Yeah, Upender sir is joined, but unfortunately, he is not joined with the audio.
Tell him to join with the audio.
Yes. Yeah, good morning, Upender sir. Please unmute, sir. Yeah, good morning, sir. I think Upender sir is joined, sir.
Oda sahab.
No, sir. Hoda sir is not joined yet, sir. Yeah, good morning, Upender sir. Can you hear my voice, sir? Sir, your mic is muted. Please unmute, sir.
Morning to everybody. Naik sir, good morning.
Good morning, Upender sir. Naik sir, Upender sir is now connected with us, sir.
No, Naik sir is not connected.
Yes, sir, he is connecting, but I think there is a network issue. So we will resolve it soon, sir. Naik sir, please unmute. Sir, please unmute, sir. Naik sir. Yes, sir. Upender sir is now joined with us, sir.
It is visible. Sir, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Fine. आप कैसे हैं?
बिल्कुल ठीक है.
ठीक है. टीका लग गया आज से.
If everybody has come, we should start then. नमस्कार.
हाँ, आपका नंबर तो सेकंड फेज में आएगा टीका लेने के लिए.
बिल्कुल.
आपका हमारा एक ही साथ आएगा.
Yeah.
Dr. Manas Kumar Sanyal sahab has also joined, the Vice Chancellor of Bardhaman University.
Kalyani University. I am in the Kalyani Vice Chancellor.
Kalyani. I'm sorry.
Yes. Kalyani.
Manas Dao. Dr. Upender Dhar, the Vice Chancellor of Sri Vaishnav Vidyapit University, Indore.
Good afternoon.
Good day.
Naik sir.
Hoda ji?
Yeah, Hoda sir is not joined yet, sir. And Dinesh sir and yes, sir. Hoda sir is not joined yet.
Ye, Daryab Sahib from Rajasthan will be joining in late because there is some government meeting is going on.
Okay, okay.
But he will be joining.
Okay, sir. Okay. But we will wait
Just
for
the Hoda. Professor Hoda.
Yes, sir.
Deepak ji has joined?
No, sir. I still is not joined yet, sir.
But he will be joining because his bank is today is a working day actually. Na?
Yes, yes. Today is a working day.
हाँ छोटे भाई आपका वेट हो रहा है बोथ दी वाइस चांसलर हाँ आप देखिए हाँ मोबाइल में भी आपका लिंक गया हुआ हाँ अभी मैं भेज रहा हूँ
Naik sir, I think Chandawat sir is joined as he is visible, but not with the audio.
Oh, Sundar sir has joined. Very good.
Yes, sir. He is joined.
And Hoda ji?
Yes, sir. Hoda sir is now also joined.
Hoda ji joined?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now Hoda sir.
Joined, na?
Yeah. Good morning, Aman Hoda sir.
Just
Please
have
unmute,
the
sir.
Good morning. How are you?
Good morning, sir.
अरे welcome
बड़े भाई,
welcome
good
छोटे भाई
afternoon. Good
welcome
afternoon, बड़े भाई.
welcome छोटे भाई and you meet Dr. Manas Kumar Sanyal ji, the Vice Chancellor of Kalyani University.
Good
as well as
afternoon, sir.
Dr.
Good afternoon.
Upinder
Good
Dhar, the
afternoon.
Vice Chancellor of the Sri Vaishnava University Indore.
Namaskar.
Good afternoon.
Dr. M.N. Hoda, the Director of the Bharati Vidyapit Institute of Computer Application and Management, New Delhi. And Chandawat Sahib has joined.
Yes, sir. Chandawat sir has joined, but I think he's not joined with the audio.
Please tell him to join the audio to have the introduction, then we can start. Dinesh ji will be joining later on because bank is running today. It's working
Yes,
day.
I'm just messaging him, sir.
Just.
Yes, sir. I connected with Chandavat, sir, and he is now in a short while. He will be connecting with the audio, sir. So can we start
He's
now, sir?
connecting with the audio? Huh?
No, no, not yet connected, but he is trying, sir. Yes, now he is connecting.
Connected?
No, sir. No, sir. I think there is a network congestion from their side, so we are facing that problem, sir.
So we should start then? Will be there.
Yes, sir. But we have to inform Chandavat, sir, also that he is not connected. Yeah. Sir, can we continue now, sir? Dinesh sir is also joining with us, sir.
Dinesh ji join? Kahan?
Yes, sir. Yeah, Dinesh sir, please unmute, sir. Good morning, sir.
Dinesh ji, good afternoon.
Sir, I think there is a network issue from that side, sir. Sir, Dinesh sir.
They will be introduced.
Yeah. So we can start now, sir. Yeah. Now he is visible also. Yeah, Dinesh sir, good morning. Please unmute, sir.
Chandavat ji, Dr. Chandavat has joined?
Yes, sir, but now he is not joined. He had left the meeting, and I think he will be.
We should start.
Sure, sir.
We should start. They will be making their problem feasible short while, and we can do.
Yes, we should start.
Hello.
So yeah. So once again, very warm good afternoon to all dear respected dignitaries, our respected guests, and all dear participants in this today's one-day national virtual conference on human resource planning for next decade. I, Professor Rohit, the Assistant Professor IIBM Patna, I welcome you all in this today's conference. So with these words, I like to begin today's webinar, and it's a time for opening remarks. And for that, I like to welcome Professor Dr. A.K. Nayak. Professor Dr. A.K. Nayak is the immediate past president and chairman, Academics and Awards Committee, Computer Society of India, is the director of Indian Institute of Business Management, Patna, is having more than 35 years of experience in teaching, training, research, and administration in the field of computer science, information technology, management. The former president of ICT sections of Indian Science Congress Association and former chairman of Indian Society for Technical Education, Bihar, Jharkhand. Professor Nayak is the fellow of Computer Society of India, International Society for Research and Development, UK, United Writers Association, National Association for Computer Educators and Trainers, and Management Studies and Promotion Institute, New Delhi. Professor Nayak is associated with the academic programs of more than 40 universities, represented as an expert member in several bodies of Government of India and state government, authored 162 papers, 12 books, edited 9 books, 10 proceedings of national and international conferences. He has also received many national and international awards, and his biography is published already in 7 international directories. Professor Nayak has worked as an expert member of CEDTI, Government of India, reviewer of TST Project, Government of India, member Board of Directors, DNS Institute of Cooperative Management, Government of India, regional moderator, NIE, LIT, Government of India, expert member, Banking Services Recruitment Board, Bihar Public Service Commission, Bihar State Technical Education Board, Bihar State Secondary Education Board, and many more. At present, Professor Nayak is the member of Board of Studies of Computer Science NIT, AICTE, Government of India, member of Bureau of Indian Standard Government of India. Professor Naik also worked as a president, vice president, honorary secretary, division chair, chairman, nomination committee, members committee, conference committee, internal audit committee, election committee, chapter bylaws committee, SIG committee. He is of Computer Society of India. He is also worked as a honorary secretary of Indian Society for Technical Education, Bihar, Jharkhand section for 2 recorded terms. So with all these words, I like to welcome Professor Dr. A.K. Naik sir for opening remarks.
Thank you very much, Rohit, giving the nice introduction. Welcome everybody to this August one-day National Virtual Conference on Human Resources Planning for next decade. On this occasion, the learned and honorable Vice Chancellor of Kalyani University, Professor Dr. Manas Kumar Sanyal, the Honorable Vice Chancellor of Kalyani University, who is participating as our chief guest on this occasion and will be delivering the inaugural address. The dignified and most respected Vice Chancellor of Sri Vaishnav Vidyapith University of Indore, who has kindly consented to deliver the keynote address on a very important and very relevant and contemporary theme, that is the human resources planning for the next decade. The president of this function, my beloved younger brother, the dynamic and vibrant and young director of Bharati Vidyapith Institute of Computer Application and Management, Delhi, the respected and honorable invited speaker, Dr. Daryab Singh Chandawat, the Honorable Vice Chancellor of Rajasthan State Higher Education Council, the invited speaker on this occasion, respected Dr. Dinesh Kumarji, the Assistant General Manager of Bank of Baroda, Human Resource Development Department of New Delhi Zone, the faculty members, organizers of the Indian Institute of Business Management, convener Professor Ganesh Pandey, host Sri Rohit Kumarji, as well as the respected faculty members of the different academic institutions and respected invitees, dignitaries and guests. Our guest Jogesh Tiwari ji, who has joined from the Nashik, and I see many other persons are also joined from the Kanchipuram of the Tamil Nadu and other parts of the country. Some delegates joined from the Bhutan also, and dearest and nearest participants and student, particularly the student participants who have been connected with this August National Virtual Conference on Human Resources Planning for the next decade. First of all, on behalf of the Indian Institute of Business Management and Dr. Zakir Hussain Group of the institution, as the chief advisor of this group, I extend my hearty welcome as well as express my thankfulness and gratitude to all the August gathering for their gracious presence on this auspicious occasion of one-day national virtual webinar on human resource planning for next decade. At the same time, I am very much indebted for the gracious presence of our honorable chief guest, Dr. Manas Kumar Sanyal, who had been the vibrant and dynamic Vice Chancellor of the Kalyani University, and prior to that, he has headed the university as the Dean of the Science, Technology and Engineering and Management of the Kalyani University, and former head of the Department Management Administration of the same university. Sir, the Indian Institute of Business Management, which is an institution of excellence existing since last 42 years, established in the year 1979, on behalf of its managing committee, on behalf of its staff and students, we express our hearty gratitude and our thankfulness for your gracious presence here today and for your kind consent to deliver the inaugural address. I'm also equally grateful and extend my hearty welcome and express our gratitude on behalf of the Indian Institute of Business Management and its managing committee as well as the student community to the Honorable and dignified Vice Chancellor and one of my most closest colleague, Dr. Upinder Dhar Sahib, for his gracious presence as well as for his consent to deliver the keynote address on this particular theme, because I do think nobody can be more justified personality to address on this occasion as the keynote speaker. He had been the Vice Chancellor of the several universities prior to the Vice Chancellor of the Sri Vaishnavi University, Vidyapitham University, situated at Indore. He had served as the Dean of the Research, Director of the Management Program of the great prestigious Nirma University, as well as discharged his duty not only as an acclaimed national and international stature academician, but an able administrator. Sir, on behalf of the Indian Institute of Business Management, on behalf of our group of institutions, and we extend our hearty thankfulness, welcome, as well as our sense of gratitude for your gracious presence and for your kind consent to deliver the keynote address on this occasion. In the same time, I express my thankfulness and my appreciation to my beloved younger brother, Professor M.N. Hoda, who had been always kind enough and one of the most well-wisher of this group of institutions, and working in the capacity of the director of the Bharati Vidyapith Institute of Computer Application and Management, one of the most vibrant and dynamic organizing institution of excellence, as well as he is a pioneer in the field of computer science and information technology, and having the credit of be the chief editor of the International Journal on Information Technology, and which have been Scopus indexed as well as very high impact value. In the same time, I express our hearty gratitude on behalf of the institutions and group of institutions, express our sense of welcome to the presence of Honorable Vice Chairman of the Rajasthan State Higher Education Council, Dr. Zaryab Singh Chandawat-ji, who had been kind enough to deliver his invited address on this occasion. A man of high stature, a personality, and an expert of the human resources management. He had also the ex-professor and head of the human resource management of the Motilal Sukhadia University of Udaipur, and we welcome him once again to this August gathering. In the same time, as the industry person, I have invited the respected Assistant General Manager of Bank of Baroda, one of the leading bank, and in driving banking organization and public sector so far as the modern trends of the human resources development is concerned, Dr. Dinesh Kumarji, who will be addressing as an invited guest. I express my sincere thankfulness for his gracious presence. In the same time, I welcome all the dignitaries who have been connected in online to this noble and very relevant and very timely considerative theme, the human resource development, human resources planning for the next decade. And for your gracious presence, I once again welcome each of you to this August webinar. The basic philosophy of keeping this topic, because after conducting several number of webinars, seminars, and conferences in virtual mode by Indian Institute of Business Management, I can proudly present before you, this is the 33rd number of virtual conference that is being organized by this institution and group of institutions within the pandemic period. Initially, we have conducted near about 25 numbers of conferences and seminars under the virtual mode, so far as computer science and information technology is concerned. But now we are conducting the series of topics and dealt with the management education and management practices and the field of the management and administration. And last week we have conducted the prospects and challenges of rural marketing, where the director of the IM Ranchi inaugurated, as well as the keynote address has been delivered by the Vice Chancellor of the Symbiosis University of Applied Sciences. So the basic purpose of keeping this in this week, and as well as I also invite everybody to join the virtual conference which will be conducted in the next week, that is the emerging demand of the financial planning for the growth of business and industry. So the basic purpose of the today's virtual conference, because the viewing the emerging development and viewing the digital transformation in every activities of the human life, every activities of the industrial sector, business sector, commercial sector, as well as service sector, government sector, and non-governmental organizations. The things are being transformed in a very big way. The things are being changed in a big way due to the emerging digital transformation in and every areas. And where our Honorable Prime Minister is having a dream to make the India the self-confident India, Atmanirbhar India, by launching the projects in its first edition like Digital India, like Stand Up India, Startup India, and Make in India, and in his second edition tenure, and given a slogan to make the local to the vocal and make the vocal to the global and make India the self-confident India. We have already seen the partial fulfillment of this concept and his dream during the pandemic corona period. When the corona has started, the country was quite handicapped. We did not have any medical facilities, adequate medical facilities. We did not have the masks. We did not have the kits, PPE kits. We did not have the sufficient sanitizer. And when we have got a lot of threat from the China and we have discarded the product of the China, at that time India became the self-reliant and self-confident by producing these things. And not only that, today we are capable and able to export the commodity to the outside of the country. And today one historical achievement has been done, and India became the 5th country to have the Tikakaran, the vaccination, indigenous vaccination, and the largest vaccination scheme of the whole world. And the thing is that when we are dreaming that the country will be moving to become a developed country, and when we are dreaming to the country to make it a IT superpower, in that respect, I do believe to make the country very much developed, there are some components to be fulfilled, that the peoples of the country should be highly educated, and the infrastructure should be existing at everywhere, and we should have the small and medium scale industries and network of the small and medium scale industries, and we can have the tremendous entrepreneurship development to make the country self-reliant and self-confident, and we should have the innovative ecosystem to make the combination of the industrial minds as well as the academic minds together for moving towards the betterment and development of the country. And we should have the digital empowerment of the manpower and our population should have the high expectation. These are the 7 factors that I mentioned, but to which a country can have the dream, that the country can translate its dream to become a developed country, or it can lead to a superpower also in respect of the digital transformation, in respect of the ICT applications. And to fulfill all these things, and what are the challenges we are going to face in the days to come, and which we will have to address. That is why we kept this webinar and we kept these virtual conferences, because the manpower of the country should be shaped accordingly. In the future days, we need the effective supply chain management that everybody has realized at the COVID period. If our supply chain management has been totally controlled by the digital equipment and by the digital means, and we need the strong enterprises resources planning, and we need the strengthening the marketing research and the product design, and we need to have the smart HR management in the future days to come, and we need to make automation of our production system by induction of the Industry 4.0, as well as we need a very streamlined inventory system which we can match with our production system, and we need the proper financial planning and financial forecasting. And viewing to challenge all these, to address all the challenges which are coming up in the future days, and that we need a very equipped and strong and eligible and capable and energetic manpower in for every sector, for which we need the good manpower for the industrial sector. We need the efficient human resources for the business sector, industrial sector, for the business sector, for the service sector, and for the government sector, and for the many of the varieties of the non-governmental organization also. Then only can have a dream that the complete development can be happen, and we can drive the country towards a developed country and towards a superpower. And what are the challenges that we'll have to fulfill in the future days to come, and what our organizations are going to be in the nature? They are going to be very dynamic, they are going to be very innovative, and they are going to be having very networking structure, and the concept of the modern enterprises will be there. And in that case, we need our employees, our manpower, our human resource should have the continuous updation of the knowledge. They need the continuous learning process to make them equipped with the current trends of the technology, with the current changing trends of the technology. And another thing, what we need to have the talent acquisition of the human resources. The talent should be acquired and the skill inventory should be maintained. And we need that the durability of the employees should work in the organization, so that the retention of the employees will be one of the most important factors in the organization to come. And we need a new methods of appraisal of the employees' performance in the future days to come. This traditional system may not be coming into the use in the future days to come to address all kinds of the challenges. Besides that, we need the digital empowerment of our employees, digital empowerment of the human resources who will be working all these things, and that is the thing. And we need new types of leaders to address these kinds of challenges. The traditional system and the traditional way of management may not be that much effective in that case. We need the digital human resources. We need the people who should be very much expert in the big data analytics, in the big data analyst, and who can be able to have the dealing with the business intelligence system. And we should have the population, we should have the human resources who can having the capability of promoting the marketing concept in the diversity, as well as to making the inclusion of the business concept in the particular organization, because we will have to deal with the peoples of the different varieties, different caste, creed, religions, communities, and geographical regions. And these things will be very much required. And the thing is that, and overall, there is the requirement of the manpower who can be able to balance the machines and the workers, because that will be the most requirement things that will happen, because we are moving towards the industry 4.0 due to the complete digital transformation and due to the implementation of the Internet of Things, Internet of Everything, as well as the robotic concept in the industrial sector, in the business sector, in the service sector, where the devices and machines will talk with one another. The machines will be the smart machine, and the industry will be the smart industry. These are the points, which are the challenges before us, and which our next generation whom manpower are required to address. That is why, being all these things, we have arranged this virtual national conference, where the honorable speakers, the honorable dignitaries who are the experts in their respective field will address on these matters, and they will deliberate upon, and definitely the knowledge updation will be there for the young generation who are participating with this virtual conference. With these words, once again, welcoming everybody and expressing my sincere gratitude and thankfulness for your august gathering and august presence, and particularly to our honorable chief guest and keynote speaker and the president of this function and the invited speaker, I, Professor A. Once again, on behalf of my all the societies, on behalf of my all the organization, and I, with a folded hand, welcome everybody to this virtual conference, as well as pray to the God. May God bless each of you who have been connected online with this virtual conference. May God bless each of you to pick up the daffodils from the paradise of your future professional career. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Namaskar.
Thank you so much, Nayak sir. So now we will proceed towards our next session, and it's a time for inaugural session. And our today's chief guest is Professor Dr. Manas Kumar Sanyal sir. So I request Professor Dr. Manas Kumar Sanyal sir who is working as a Vice Chancellor, Kalyani University, West Bengal. Previously, he was working as a Dean, Faculty of Engineering, Technology and Management in Kalyani University. He is also the former head of Department and Professor of Business Administration, Kalyani University. Dr. Manas Kumar Sanyal completed his M.Tech in Computer Science from the University of Calcutta. He has received his PhD in 2003. He started his career in industry and joined in university. He has more than 27 years of teaching experience. He has organized several international conferences like India 2015, India 2016, ICIC 2016, international conferences on frontier of intelligent computing, theory and application, FICTA 2014, CICBA 2017, etc., and edited numbers of volumes in Springers. He is a life member of Management Committee, member of Computer Society of India. He has written several books in computer science. Dr. Sanyal has published more than 100 papers in reputed international journals and conferences. His area of interest are machine learning, cloud computing, business intelligence, e-governance, big data, and many more. So with all these words, I'd like to welcome Professor Dr. Manas Kumar Sanyal, sir, respected chief guest of this one-day virtual conference for inaugural address.
Thank you. Thank you. Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible, sir.
A very good afternoon to all. Professor A.K. Nayak, advisor, IIBM Group, and former president and fellow, Computer Society of India. Professor Upinder Dhar, Vice Chancellor, Sri Vaishnav Vidyapith Vishwavidyalaya. Professor M.N. Hoda, Director, Bharatiya Vidyapith, Institute of Computer Applications and Management. Professor Daria Chunowat, Vice Chairman, Rajasthan State Higher Education Council. Dr. Dinesh Kumarji, Assistant General Manager and Zonal HR Head, Bank of Baroda. Professor Ganesh Pandey, Deputy Director, IIBM. Distinguished guests, speakers, delegates, all the faculty members of this institute, students, students, teachers, scholars, ladies and gentlemen, I am pleased to join with you as chief guest in this inaugural session of one-day national virtual conference on human resources planning for next decade, organized by Indian Institute of Business Management and Zakir Hussain Institute. I sincerely thank Professor Nayak and to the Indian Institute of Business Management and Zakir Hussain Institute and the organizing committee of this conference for inviting me to address to you today. I am also happy to note that this conference focusing exclusive on HR issues. As Professor Nayak already informed in his welcome address, that this institute under his leadership has conducted several number of webinars in the area of computer sciences, in the area of management also. But the students and the faculties of Eastern region especially miss this conference because of lack of, we are not getting any information. You have conducted a valuable number of conferences. Our students are also eagerly waiting to attend these conferences in the virtual mode. Although I am not in a specialization in HR, but it is known that in the last decade, human resource has undergone a dynamic shift in terms of its role, functions, and responsibilities in an organization. A decade ago, HR was only about the recruitment. It is only confined within the recruitment. But a decade later, HR is a strategic partner. Now HR is integrating artificial intelligence, automation, as Professor Nayak already mentioned IoT, Internet of Things, data analytics, and a lot of other functions and area in HR that evolve gradually over time. HR needs to be more proactive with regard to the digital transformation, as it plays an important role in shaping the organization digital identity. It is a challenge and a real complexity to plan future capabilities of a workforce in the digital economy, as is the ability to integrate the right people into a dynamic organizational context and also help existing employees and team leaders gain new digital competencies, which will enable them to drive transformation. The success of any organization depends on how efficiently and effectively people, process, and technology combine and deliver value at optimal level. Artificial intelligence is a technological tool that aims to help us resolve cognitive issues and enable machine to think like human. Machine learning creates and make predictions based on certain data pattern and hence helps in effective decision making. For example, sentiment analysis based on the interaction between employees and their manager will give us a new age evaluation. Deep learning also comprehends a large volume of data through neural network architecture. It sets up basic parameters around data and leaves computer to learn through own its pattern. For example, speech identification or chatbots are the key areas of deep learning in the HR context. Using this latest technology, HR managers in next decades will have more time to focus on their employees, enhancing on aspects like talent acquisition, retention, and employee engagement, and taking them to the next higher level. I strongly believe that this one-day conference will highlight all the issues of HR and all the participants will benefit from this conference, because Professor Nayak has already arranged a good number of keynotes in this conference. So I do hope that the participants will benefit from the conference. So with these few words, I conclude my speech. I wish this conference a grand success. Thank you all.
Thank you so much, sir. You just inaugurated with a very well blessings, and whatever the thoughts you have given us, it's a very renowned for us. So thank you so much, sir. And now it's a time for our keynote address, and our today's keynote speaker is
Rohit.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Rohit. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Manasda. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for inviting me.
Thank you.
I am.
Let me see.
Thank you.
It's actually we are most honored by your gracious presence, and the institute felt honored because for your gracious presence. Let me see whether Chandavat sir has joined. Rohit.
Yes, sir. Chandavat sir has joined. Yes, sir.
Joined.
Sir, Chandavat, please unmute, sir.
Let us have the introduction with.
Sir, good afternoon.
And Mr. Chandavat sir.
Yes, sir.
Chandavat sir has joined or not?
Yes, sir. He's joined and he is listening also.
Dinesh ji.
Yes, sir. Dinesh sir is also joined.
Dinesh ji.
Good morning, sir. I am here. I am Dr. Dinesh here. Yeah.
Dinesh ji.
I am here, sir.
I am making your introduction with Dr. Manas Sanyal Sahib, the Vice Chancellor of the Kalyani University,
yes,
and Honorable Dr. Upender Dharji, the Vice Chancellor of the Sri Vaishnav University of the Indore.
Right. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you. It's my pleasure to see such type of great people and attending conference and learning from them. Thank you so much, sir.
Rohit Chandavat sir is joining.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Dr. Sir.
Sir, very good afternoon.
You kindly meet. Good afternoon. You kindly meet Dr. Upinder Dhar, the Honorable Vice Chancellor of the Sri Vaishnava University, Indore. Dhar Sahib. And as well as Dr. Manas.
Thank you.
Manas Sanyal Sahib, the Vice Chancellor of the Kalyani University.
So now
it was just meant to introduce.
Yes, sir. Yeah, sir. Can we move now?
Okay. Thank you, Manasda. Thank you once again from core of our heart and core of our institution peoples. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Manas sir. So now,
please.
Yes, sir. So now we will proceed towards our next session. That is our keynote address. And our today's keynote speaker is Dr. Upinder Dhar, sir. Dr. Upinder Dhar is the Vice Chancellor of Sri Vaishnav Vidyapeeth Vidyalayam, Indore. Earlier, he was a Group Additional Vice Chancellor and Pro Vice Chancellor Academics, Amity University, Noida. He is a founder, Vice Chancellor of J.K. Lakshmipat University, Jaipur, Director, Indian Institute of Management, Dean, Faculty of Management, and Dean, Faculty of Doctoral Studies and Research at Nirma University, Ahmedabad. He is the Director, Prestige University of Management and Research, Indore, Professor, Management of NITIE, Mumbai, Reader at IMS DAVV, Indore, and Lecturer at MD University, Rohtak. He has conducted more than 650 management and faculty development programs for the executives of major business houses and faculty members of academic institutions, respectively. He has been guest faculty at IIM Calcutta, IIM Indore, IIM Trichy, IIT Roorkee. Besides undertaking consultancy assignments, he has authored, co-authored, edited more than 700 publications. 36 scholars have been awarded PhD degree under his supervision by various universities. Dr. Dhar was awarded Commonwealth Fellowship twice. At present, his paper at the South Asia Management Forum held at Royal Institute of Management, Bhutan, and Lahore University of Management Sciences, Lahore. He was invited by the American Society for Engineering Management as a resource person for case method during its international annual conferences held at Minnesota in 2003. So with all these words, I like to welcome our today's keynote speaker, Dr. Upinder Dhar, sir, for his address.
Professor A.K. Naik, Professor Manas Kumar Sanyal, Professor M.N. Hoda, Professor D.S. Sundawatji, Dr. Dinesh Kumar, Professor Ganesh Pandey, all those who are attending this webinar, and my dear young friends. At the outset, I would like to thank my great friend, Professor A.K. Naik, for inviting me to this webinar. And I would also like to congratulate him for organizing such webinars continuously under various banners. More importantly, during the COVID-19 pandemic. Today, the topic chosen for this webinar is very timely and important. As we know, that traditionally personnel management had very restricted functions. In fact, many authors, you would see old books, mention that personnel management used to be a kind of dumping ground. If organization was not happy with people, those people who were not performing well, they were sent to personal management. But the scenario totally changed. It's totally different now. This human resource movement came to India in mid-1980s. Human resource movement was already there in Western world, but so far as our country is concerned, it came in mid-1980s. So in last 4 decades and so, a lot of work has been done in human resources. Human resources is now recognized respectfully as a significant contributor to business and even in non-business organizations. So human resource functions are seen as very important functions today, and the role of human resource experts is seen as an important role in the organization. It was not so 50 years back, 60 years back in the country. Today the scenario has totally changed. Earlier we used to talk about manpower planning when it used to be personnel management. That's also replaced by human resource planning. We talk about human resources. Human beings as resources because they have competency. We use the term human resources only when we have people with appropriate competence, with appropriate skills, attitude, and above all, knowledge. So planning is one of the primary functions in human resources. So planning has to be well. If planning is well, if planning is done properly, organization is going to continue as an effective organization. That effectiveness can be ensured if planning as a foundation is strong. Now, I will not talk only about human resource planning. As all of you know that we are still experiencing the COVID-19 pandemic. Pandemic has not gone. Today, 16th of January is an important day in the history of Indian medical science. Because today, vaccination, which has come as a boon, has been introduced, implemented. From today, formal inoculation has started. It has been inaugurated by Honorable Prime Minister of the country at 10:30 in the morning. So it's an important day. But then the fact remains that COVID is still there. COVID has disrupted all the businesses across the world. COVID has disrupted our lives. Many of us have lost near and dear ones because of this COVID. Many businesses have been closed because of this COVID. So keeping this COVID-19, which is still there, and post-COVID-19 in view, we need to talk about it. The planning cannot be in isolation. When we plan for next 10 years, we cannot say that there was no COVID. COVID is still there, COVID, post-COVID, which we may see soon. That period we have to look at. That's why I have titled my talk differently. So I would like to share the file. Just give me just half a minute. Can you see my file, please?
No, sir. No, sir.
Is it visible now? Not yet?
Not yet, sir.
Okay. Yes, Rohit, is it visible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now it is visible.
Is visible? Is it full screen?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now I have titled this keynote address not simply human resource planning for the next 10 years. That's more generic. But I have tried to make it more specific. We need to be connected with the reality around us. So I have titled it as emerging HR measures during post-COVID-19. So during that, we are still there. This COVID is still there. So we are still experiencing it. Will continue for some more months. Oh, we have now a vaccine to fight it out, but then it will take some time. And then post-COVID-19. Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt you, sir. The page is not visible, sir. You have to, sir. Yeah. Now it is visible. Fine, sir.
Okay. Is it visible? Full screen?
Yes, sir. Full screen it is visible.
All right. So emerging HR measures during and post COVID-19. COVID-19 will be leaving behind its deadly impact across the world. So it is not simply COVID has come and COVID has gone, but it will leave behind its deadly impact. Impact will be felt for quite some time, even after it is gone. So that we need to remember. So HR, when we plan in HR, we cannot ignore this fact. We have to keep it in mind. IMF, International Monetary Fund, had predicted the contraction of the world economy in 2020 by 3% because of this phenomenon. Some experts are projecting one of the worst recessions the world has ever seen. See, as an aftermath, what may happen, what may follow, what is likely to follow is recession. This would have varied impact on businesses depending on the sector, financial muscle, and decisions of the companies. The companies have already taken certain decisions, and their decision making in the light of this pandemic, in the light of these troubles which have come, will continue to be taken. While certain businesses may permanently close down, as you know, many businesses have already permanently closed down. Some are still struggling, and some will come out as winners. So all is not negative, all is not dark. We should be optimistic. We have to be optimistic. So, but then the reality remains. Some have permanently closed. Some are still struggling. Will continue to struggle for some time, and some will definitely come out as winners. There will be both permanent and temporary layoffs, leaving millions of people jobless. As we see it, we are seeing it, and even in an educational institution, you can feel it. Many students are not able to pay the fee. Why? Because one of the parents has lost the job. Many of them are not able to pay the fee because there has been, because of COVID, series of tragedies in the family. So this can be felt by even by us sitting in the educational institutions. So permanent layoffs and temporary layoffs, leaving millions of people jobless across the world. Even in this imminent recession, a certain set of companies into healthcare, pharma, medical equipments, online media, and entertainment. E-learning, digital payments, fintech, food processing are witnessing increased demand and will create new job opportunities. So there is a fact that there are some businesses which have closed down permanently. There are certain businesses which are still struggling. Similarly, there are permanent layoffs, there are temporary layoffs, but at the same time, the brighter side is that there are certain sectors which are growing. For example, healthcare, pharma, medical accuracy. Today morning itself, Prime Minister was mentioning. When this tragedy of pandemic came to India in March last year, that time we had one lab only, one testing lab only. Today, we have more than 2,000 labs across the country. We were not self-sufficient at that time to manufacture the masks or the medical equipments required. But today, in these areas, we are not only self-sufficient, but we are also exporting to other countries. So the fact is, the brighter side is, though we have suffered across the world, people have suffered, businesses have suffered, but then the brighter side is that there are some segments which have been continuously growing, like healthcare, formats, right, medical equipment, and so on. So that is also a reality. Human resources are the lifeline of any organization and need to be handled with the most care and dignity all the time, and not just during this crisis. Human resources are the lifeline. And the best proof before us is now when inauguration is happening across the country, who are the first people who are being inaugurated? The health workers, the doctors, nurses, the frontline workers, the COVID warriors. Because if we have been able to navigate in the last 1 year, it's because of these people, dedicated people who have been there to support mankind, to help us. All those who have survived, they have survived because of the dedication of these people, human resources. So human resources working in health sector, human resources working in police department, human resources working in those departments who are responsible for cleanliness. They are the lifeline. So for every organization, lifeline is the human resources. No human beings, how would an organization survive and in a more effectively, and particularly during this period, we have navigated. So who has helped us to cross the barriers, cross the threats, convert the threats into the challenges? Threat was no mask, no equipments. That was taken as a challenge, and today we are better off in terms of these products. Therefore, human resources, as Professor Naik also mentioned in his welcome address, that human resources are very important. They are, in fact, the lifeline of any institution, any organization, even any country today. In the morning, Honorable Prime Minister cited a verse of a highly respected from our south of the country, wherein when he translated that, he said that country is not made by rocks, mountains, roads. Country is made by people. It is the people which are very, very important. So when we say human resources are the lifeline, it does not apply only to the organization. It applies even to the nation. It applies to the world. Companies are planning to take very short-term and long-term human resource measures best suited to them in their wisdom. So, what is required to be done at the organizational, in the organizational context? in the organizational context is planning, proper planning, sound planning, to take various short-term and long-term measures which are best suited to them in their system. Presenting below, I am just presenting before you 11 HR measures which are being taken, and some of them have already been taken, some of them are being taken, and some of them will be taken as they are envisaged to be taken by businesses in India and across the globe. What are those? First, restructuring of compensation. Certain companies are planning to rationalize or reduce compensation on a temporary basis. You see, in many of the organizations has been already done in last few months. Last 6-7 months has already been done. But this will continue. This phenomenon will continue for some more time, as I said, on a temporary basis. It's not a permanent phenomenon, but on a temporary basis. Some other companies are restructuring compensation in such a way to have lower fixed and higher variable package. So this is also being done, restructuring of compensation. The variable pay is linked to productivity and performance parameters. This measure, why this measure at all? Because this measure reduces the fixed cost burden of the organizations and makes it possible to earn earlier compensation by achieving the desired productivity and targets. This is the reason why this kind of intervention, why this kind of HR intervention is being implemented. Second, or recycling. See, as you know, with every passing year, about 1/3 of the skill sets become obsolete, and they are replaced by new skill sets. It's very well known. It has been mentioned on various platforms that every passing year, 1/3 of the skill sets become obsolete, and those skill sets are replaced by new skill sets. So continuous recycling is important. The companies are doing competency mapping of their employees and exploring the possibility of transferring some of them to other divisions or locations, or recycling them for new roles which have demand or are likely to have demand in near future. Say, for example, in previous years, many companies started manufacturing the medical equipment which they were not manufacturing earlier. Many companies started manufacturing the masks which they were not doing earlier. So they have not necessarily employed new people, but what they have done, they have shifted their own existing employees, still they reskill them for the new products. This process is going to continue. So reskilling, redeployment and reskilling will continue so far as the human resource planning is concerned. This is the second intervention. First intervention was restructuring of the compensation. Second intervention is redeployment and recycling. It's a continuing process. It will go on, and people may start doing something else which they were not doing earlier. So they will be skilled for the new kind of work that they shall have to perform. Third intervention, third measure, is deferment of increment and promotion. Again, it has already been announced in many companies, and this will have an impact for some more time. Most of the Indian companies are following the financial year, as we know, April to March, and are also giving increments and promotions accordingly. So in our educational system, after our 7th planning, this recommendation came. We are giving him increments from 1st of July every year. But then not only in education, but across industry, this is effective. So there is deferment of increment and promotion. Due to expected economic downturn, most of the companies are deferring both the increments and promotion, because promotion means more compensation. So that's why there is deferment of the increments and promotion. This is the most acceptable solution for all stakeholders. Instead of higher employee turnover, or instead of firing people, the better solution is defer the increments and promotion and retain people. Don't make people unemployed, because that will lead to further hardship. So one of the way out on humanitarian ground, retain them. We may defer increments and promotions, and it's already happening, and it will continue to happen for some more time. Fourth measure, managing temporary employees. Rohit, am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are completely audible, sir.
Okay, fourth intervention, managing temporary employees. What is that? Temporary or contract employment. An effective tool used by companies cuts across various segments of human resources or manpower. On one hand, we have low skill or manual jobs, and on the other, there is professional staffing for high skill jobs. So this categorization is already there. It is not only in our country, it is across the world. On one hand, low skill or manual jobs where lesser skills are required. On the other hand, professional staffing for high skill jobs. So normally, temporary or contract employees tend to be axed first in an economic downturn. So this is what has been happening. Most of the time, if you look at the past, when there is an economic downturn, who was axed first? Who was asked to leave? The temporary or contract employee. Many companies are planning to do exactly the same. However, there is another set of companies which think differently. See, this is important. On one hand, some companies have followed the tradition. Okay, X those. Ask those people to leave first who are either temporary or on contract. But then at the same time, there is another set of companies which have emerged, and they think differently. What do they do? They, as I said, retaining people, maybe holding the increments, holding the promotion, holding the additional benefits, but not asking them to leave. Expecting them to get reskilled and deploy them for the job, which is the new job, for the new products and services. Number 5, furlough leave and compensatory working. In furlough leave, companies inform employees to go on mandatory leave without pay. However, do not retrench them. So there are set of companies when people have been asked to go on furlough leave, or what we may say, leave without pay, no compensation, but they are not retrenched. As and when good days come back, as and when economy revives, as and when business significantly revives, they may be called back. So they have been asked to go on furlough leave or compensatory working. So they may work without compensation because they were paid otherwise earlier, or they may work on lesser pay, even without pay, but they will be compensated later on. That is also happening. These are the hardcore facts. Employees are brought back to payroll at a later date based on business viability. As soon as business will become viable, such people will be called back. So there are such companies also. Instead of retrenching people, instead of firing people, they ask people to go on compensatory, do the compensatory work. Right now, they may not be paid, but later on they may be compensated or go on for thorough leave. So they are retained. And as and when the sunshine returns, they'll be called back. One of the top hotel chains in the world has recently, few months back, announced this in the United States and will send thousands of employees on furlough leave as a cost optimization measure during this tough time, which is still continuing. In fact, they have already started that process. Some companies are planning to have compensatory working for the shutdown days as they envisage a large backlog of work that needs to be, since a lot of work could not be done during the peak of the pandemic. A lot of work could not be done during the peak of the pandemic. So some companies are planning to have compulsory working for the shutdown days, because during the shutdown days, work could not be done. So as they envisage a large backlog of work that needs to be completed post-COVID-19 to the permissible limit by the labor laws of the country. So they may go on compensatory leave and compensatory working. So because during lockdown, during shutdown, what could not be done, now they can do it. So it is those who were paid during that time. So this kind of measure is also being taken. So various organizations are, human resource department of various organizations have proposed various measures keeping the humane element in mind, humanitarian ground on mind. It would not have happened earlier when there was only simply personnel department. But now, in our country also, for the last 4 decades, we have developed a very highly sensitive human resource function. Next measure is holding performance pay or bonus. Companies are also holding or deferring or totally cancelling performance pay and bonus, except for the statutory bonus, which is mandated by the law. So this is also happening, and this will continue to happen for some more time. 7th measure is retrenchment and termination. You say, I have deliberately as number 7. Why? Because this is not the first measure. Retrenchment is not the first measure. Termination is not the first measure. So termination, though in some companies it has happened, but that is wrong. Termination should not be the first measure. It may be the last measure. So organizations periodically raise their employees and grade them in various categories for the purpose of increments and promotion. This is the normal practice. Identified low performance, non-performance are pushed for voluntary separation rather than termination. This is going to happen more. You see, this has been happening earlier also. In pandemic also it has been happening. Particularly in private sector, non-performers were asked to go for separation or leave. But because of this tragedy, because of this pandemic, because of these hard times and the changes which are going to happen now, this kind of measure will speed up. Non-performers will not be retained unless non-performers improve, reskill them. They will have to come forward for reskilling. If they are reskilled, if they are able to improve their performance, they will be there. Otherwise, there will be voluntary separation rather than termination. The emerging scenario, this may unfortunately accelerate, as I said. It will happen more now. So, message to non-performance is that improve, skill yourself, develop yourself, continue. Has become a very critical and crucial need now. Continuous development, continuous recycling. As I mentioned earlier, 1/3 of the skill sets become obsolete every year. So new skills are emerging. So one has to reskill, one has to continuously develop. Otherwise, survival of non-performance is very difficult, particularly in the private sector. And I would say, even in the public sector, over the period of time, this measure will have to be introduced, because you can't be productive there. What used to be Navratna companies are still are Navratna companies for sustenance, for sustainable efforts, for remaining in the bracket of Navratna companies. Such companies also will have to take the measures to recycle people, deploy people, and give a clear message to the non-performers that they shall have to improve. They shall have to develop continuously. Some businesses may like to close their non-core, non-performing divisions and our non-performing branches post-lockdown. This is going to happen. In fact, it has already started happening in some organizations after evaluating the impact of the pandemic. Therefore, as I mentioned earlier, those units which are not core units for a particular organization, people working there may not be asked to leave. They will be deployed, they will be reskilled. But those who do not come forward for reskilling, those who do not go for continuous development, in their case, they shall be retrenched. Certain mid-sized companies with poor cash flows or bleak or weak economic outlook are already resorting to this means. So, as I said, this kind of thing has already started. That means closing down those units which are not the core units, which are not which are non-core functions of a particular organization. This is happening at an informal level. They are doing it so that it is not reported by the media. So it is happening. It is already happening silently, because no company wants to be projected negatively by media. So they are doing it at an informal level. Now, eighth measure, outplacement and career transitioning. This is another one. Certain set of companies which will carry out downsizing believe that they should extend all possible help to these would-be left out employees. See, as I said, there is a humanitarian element of this. Is the service done by human resource development movement, HRD movement. Human resource movement has contributed a great deal in this respect. That there we can see in some organizations there is a human element. That means they worry, they care for those who may be left out, who may be asked to leave tomorrow. So they help them in getting outplaced. That means they help them in getting employed as elsewhere. They help them in career transitioning. These companies care about them and provide outplacement and career transitioning services through external consultants. This is also happening. This is also a reality. You see, on one hand, there are some companies, there are some organizations where people were straightway asked to leave, or they were straightway terminated. This is on one hand. On the other hand, there are other companies which are more considerate, which have an humanitarian element at the core. So they are facilitating the would-be left out employees in getting placed elsewhere. They are helping them in career transitioning through external consultants. Even consultants are employed to facilitate. So this is the humanitarian face of many companies. So many companies are putting up this face of humanitarian aspect, and they are facilitating the people. This is also happening, and this will continue to happen during the times to come. External consultants help these employees in counseling, identifying career opportunities for them in the best possible manner, while the fee is paid by the company, not by the individual, because he can't pay. Why from you, agent? So it is the company which is supporting. So this is also happening. There is a humanitarian phase in certain companies, not all, but in certain companies, yes, it's a fact. Now the ninth major, temporary shutdown or suspension of operations. This will also, it is already happening during the pandemic. It started and it will continue for quite some time. Large companies have multiple manufacturing plants across the world. So what have they done? They have temporarily shut down some units or some plants. They may opt for this option for one or more plants to optimize their variable and manpower cost, subject to the local laws in the respective countries. So laws cannot be ignored. They have to abide by the law. But then such measures are being taken with minimum termination of the people. That is also happening. Tenth measure is employee communication. Human resources play a pivotal role in every organization. We know it. In the beginning also I said, Professor Naik also mentioned about it. Even our Dr. Sanyal also mentioned about it. Human resources play a very pivotal, crucial, critical role in every organization. Many of the decisions enlisted in previous slides may affect employee morale. You see, well, the measures that I have discussed, some of them may affect the employee morale and must be well thought over and executed. So these measures need to be implemented very carefully. As we say, handled with care. So they need to be handled with care. We need to carefully implement these decisions so that our planning becomes sound and we do not only survive, but we emerge as winners. The companies emerge as winners. Morale of employees determines customer engagement, which directly impacts the business results. Simple. If employees are demoralized or if the morale of employees is low, that will definitely have an impact on customer engagement. If customer engagement is affected, business is affected. Simple logic. Counseling and continuous open communication with the people is people need to be taken into confidence. Otherwise, a well-intended action may backfire. So, for example, I talked about outplacement. It's a well-intended intention. Company doesn't want to harm the people. They want to help them, facilitate them, extend a helping hand. But even these measures will go otherwise. They will demoralize people unless people are taken into confidence. Open communication remains between the decision makers and the employees, and confidence of the people is gained, and they are told the facts. There is a transparency. Transparency is very important, and transparency will come only if there is open and continuous communication between decision makers, top management, and the rest of the employees. Top management, middle level management, and so on, they have a very significant role. Hence, employee communication plays a very crucial role in this phase. Now, the last intervention that I would like to mention here is the Human Resource Policies and Procedure Manual. Every company, as you know, all companies, all good companies, all professionally managed companies, all large companies have a manual. They have laid down policies, laid down procedure. Now, what is happening because of this pandemic and what is going to continue to happen? The companies are relooking at their human resource manual and assessing if there is a need to incorporate certain changes or realign the policies to deal with such situations in the this is also happening. Many companies have already started amending their manual, and this process is going to continue for some more time. Since we are talking about next 10 years, so this is going to continue amending the manual, amending the policies. This will ensure not only the safety and security of the employees, but the organization's health as well. So when we talk about health, we are not talking about only an individual's health, not only a person's health, but organization's health is also important. Organization will remain healthy if safety and security measures of the employees are taken care of. People are the greatest resources in every organization. Attracting and retaining the right talent, attracting and retaining the right talent are some of the key management practices that contribute to the success of any organization. As I said in the just a few minutes back, that see those who are skilled, those who are having the right attitude, those who are continuously recycling themselves and developing themselves, they have a bright future. They will be attracted by the companies, they will be retained by the companies. So this continuous recycling, continuous development is a must for everybody. Nothing can be taken for granted. We cannot take it for granted that the skill sets that we have today will sustain for next 10 years. No. We have to keep on recycling ourselves. We need to develop new skills. For example is what we are doing now. You see, 1 year back, we would not have a conference on website on this digital platform. But this pandemic has taught us to develop the skills and get connected across the world. We are connected today with the whole world. Every day there is one webinar or the other, which was not so 1 year back. So we have learned it. We have possessed. We have acquired new skills. So this is necessary. Now we are already in 4.5, Industry 4.0 or 4. Industry 4.0 or 4.0, which is now gradually, very fast, transitioning into Industry 5.0. And this is the digital age. Unless we reskill ourselves, make ourselves well versed with skills required for doing a webinar like this, getting connected through digital platform across the world, we need to learn these skills, and most of us have learned it, and most of us have developed these skills. Same way in the industry also, new skills need to be developed continuously. It has to be a continuous process. It will that only will sustain, that only will ensure sustenance of the organizations, and that will also ensure the security of the job. It takes a long time to build an employer brand. Every human resource measure should be carefully thought out and analyzed through 3 dimensions. Here, 3 dimensions are very important, which need to be kept in mind while planning for next 10 years. What are those? The employee as a human being. Employee should not be seen only as an employee, as a human being. So human resource development, human resource function delves around the employee as a human being. Second, the cost benefit. See, organization cannot survive if we don't worry about cost. We have to help the businesses survive because of the cost benefit that one can draw. The financial aspect is important, otherwise company will just go. So second aspect is the cost benefit. As I mentioned about some measures like holding increments, holding promotions, or restructuring of compensation. Why? Because cost benefit is also important. Otherwise, company will die. So that part is also to be kept in mind. So why outplacement? Because company may not survive then if we keep on adding people or keep those people who may not be required now in the change scenario. But then at the same time, company is taking a human element into function. So an element is taken into consideration, and companies are employing the consultants to help these people to get outplaced, or they are helping them to have career transition. So that is also happens to cost. 3 points: the employee, the cost benefit, and the third important, equally important, legal element. We can not go against the law of the land. So we have to abide by the law. So whatever we do, whatever measures are taken by the HR, whatever planning we are doing, we have to keep the legal aspect in mind. What we can do legally, what is legal and what is not legal, that is to be kept in mind. We cannot simply take a decision without considering the legal provisions. Law is the third dimension. So employee, cost benefit, and legal aspect of the situation. So law of the land is important. So in our case, it means company law, labor laws, and so on. And so many laws are there. So they are to be kept in mind. So while planning for the next 10 years, while taking these measures I have mentioned, legal provisions are to be kept in mind. The role of human resource has to be redefined from hiring and recruitment and appraisals. So far, in many organizations, the three major roles: hiring through the recruitment process, and then the appraisals. Now, there will be a transition to new working models. Performance-centric restructuring of compensation, as I have already mentioned. Performance-centric restructuring of compensation. Then managing cost optimization. See, I have deliberately said performance-centric restructuring of compensation, because in past it has not happened. Some of my colleagues, some of my friends may recall that when VRS was introduced, when voluntary retirement scheme was introduced in our country, in most of the cases, who left the company? Who left the banks? Performing people left private sector. So therefore, this provision is very important. Keep the performing people in center. So it has not to be simply voluntary retirement. It has not to be simply restructuring of compensation. Keep the performance aspect in view. Performance has to be in focus. Performance has to be in the center. So that's why I have mentioned the performance-centric restructuring of compensation. Managing cost optimization, that is important. Otherwise, business will not exist. And reduction exercises without damaging employer branding, without damaging the name of the company, name of the organization. Because employer branding does not happen overnight. It takes years, it takes decades. Today, we talk about Tata, but this Tata as a brand has not emerged overnight. It has taken decades, in fact, I should say more than a century to build this brand. So brand image has to be kept in mind. Employer brand is to be kept in mind and play a decisive role in the long-term survival of the business. That's very important. Tata is existing for more than 100 years. Birla is existing in our country. I'm talking in our country, existing for more than 100 years. So there is a brand which was created over the period of time. So whatever decisions are taken, decisions should be legal. Decisions should be in favor of the human being. So decisions have to be humane and legal, so that there is no dent on the employer brand and of the organization. So with these words, I stop here. Happy answer the questions, if any. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Welcome.
For this nice presentation, and a lot of benefits must be available to the participants. And once again, we express the thanks from our core of the heart. Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir. Naik sir, I think Hoda sir is not joined.
You ask him. Otherwise, you go to next.
Hoda sir is not joined, sir. I think there is a network congestion from their side, sir. So
then you invite Chandawat sir.
sure.
Though I am then calling Hoda sahib.
Sure, sir. Sure, sir. I think Chandawat sir, please on your camera. Yes. Yeah. Okay, so now we will proceed towards our next session, that is our invited guests address. And our today's invited guest is Professor Dhairav Singh Chandawat. He is the Vice Chairman, Rajasthan State Higher Education Council. He is the former Professor, Dean, Director, and Head University College of Commerce and Management Studies, Mohanlal Sukhadia University, Rajasthan. He has awarded 46 PhD degrees and supervised 259 dissertations and project reports. Dr. Chandawat had published 14 books, 65 research papers. He had participated in many national and international seminars and conferences. He is a man with vision to change the level of education with a 35 plus years of experience. So with all these words, I like to welcome Professor Dhairav Singh Chandawat sir for invited address.
Thank you, Rohit ji. Hello.
Yes, sir, you are audible, completely audible, sir.
Comfortable?
Yes, sir.
Voice is okay?
Yes, sir, your voice is okay, sir.
Okay, good afternoon. Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Sakti Rupena Sanstita Namastasya 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 Namo Namaha. One day national virtual conference on human resource planning for next decade, organized by Indian Institute of Business Management, Patna, and Zakir Hussain Institute of Patna. Honorable Vice Chancellor, Kalyani University, West Bengal, Professor Sanyal, Professor Upendra Dhar, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Vaishnav Vidyapit University, Indore, learned Professor A.K. Naik, Advisor IIBM Group, Professor Hoda, Professor Dinesh Kumar, Professor Pandey, and the coordinating this webinar, Professor Rohit Kumar, friends, all participants, ladies and gentlemen, dear students. Professor A.K. Naik has telephoned me and he has requested me to speak something about HRP next decade, I will try to have explain some recent trend in human resource planning. After excellent presentation of Professor Dhar, now all are very clear about HR and HR things. I am very thankful and I am congratulate to Professor Upender Dhar, which he have given very excellent presentation about this conference, this seminar. The advancement of technology has changed the conventional way of doing things in most aspects of our lives. Our life becomes easier due to adopted of technology. Today, smartphones, watches, voice activities, speakers, and even cars and cities, everything is connected. It is not surprising, but the transformation has touched the workplace as well. Undoubtedly, autonomous digitization, cloud, big data are the buzzwords that were hard and word of the business in the last decade. Rapid changes and advances in technology were accompanied by disreputation in the job of market, with demand for new future ready skills coming to the fore. This is turn has led to significant set up a role of human resource HR, with HR evolving from being just an administrative unit for employees to strategic number of the organization, with an equal stake in the growth of the business. If digitization was the trend of the last decade, then artificial intelligence, AI, and machine learning, ML, will be cornerstones on HR in next decade. This will bring about rapid changes in the skill required in the next decade. We'll see an acceleration in the speed of change, while the digitization of HR functions will continue to hold the essential place in HR strategies in coming decades. The spread and scale of digitization will increase technology to ensure that the organization stays relevant in the coming decade. The first point of contact that recruitment has itself undergone a sea of change, from the use of the internet for posting job openings and consulting with job seekers to online tracking and short listing of applicants, who are today using AI and ML in not just recruitment, but the entire HR process too. In the next decade, AI will allow repetitively and administrative tasks to automated, furnishing human talent for more advanced work than focus on improving the organization's process and developing the employees to ensure that the vision of the organization fulfilled. The decade ahead will also see data enabling and empowering the HR function. The application of analyze Data will bring agility to the function through insights in the world. Otherwise, the perceived for human talent. In fact, AI-powered analysis of data will ensure consistency and objectivity untouched by human biases. Another core area of HR where AI will bring changes in the aspects of employee engagement by enabling process such as real-time feedback and analysis, intelligent surveys, personalized messaging and communication, and objective evaluation and assessment for the reward on recognized program. They will in the turn promote retention of talent with positive impact on organizational performance and stakeholders' value. With the need to ensure that the employees are future ready, it is learning and development that will play an essential role in coming decade. Here to it, AI that will play a crucial role in the recognizing skill gaps, targeting delivery and improving learning outcomes. E-learning, personalized path to skill acquisition will allow an organization to stay ahead of the game. The next decade will be full of the challenges for all functions, and for HR, it will to ensure that right people are on the right place at the right time. That probability is only way to ensure that the organization gets fit to complete. It is to up to each of us embrace technology so that HR as a function will play a more strategic role in business growth. Ultimately, success will be determined by how well organization can adapt and adopt new technologies and drive employee to do the same. No doubt, the coming era for a human resource planning shall be based on technology, but the journey has been already started with great speed in 2020 due to COVID-19. A small picture of futuristic human resource planning can be seen in the 2020. The COVID-19 crisis has driven changes in the important of unexpected way. A growing number of organizations across the sectors are accelerating their digital transformation efforts, not only to make their operation nimbler and more than efficient, but to respond to dramatic fluctuations and demand to customer expectations. Organizations need to rewrite the rule and negative. The exponential changes that arrived in the full honest of the digital age, COVID-19 has reinforced our conviction that human concerns are not separate from technological advantage at all, but integral for organization looking to capture the full value of the technologies they were put in the places. Organization look to adapt their way of working in the response to the crisis. They found that in many thought not all parts of the world technology was not in greater challenges. In those where it was, the crisis highlighted the digital divided within the countries, across regions, and rural communities and urban digital deserts. In those where the technology has been available, one of the biggest barrier was the difficulty of building models to integrate the human with those technologies, to create new habits and management practices for how people adapt, behave, and work in the partnership with the technology available to them to fulfill distinctly human needs, such as the desire for meaning, connection, and well-being at work. To maximize work potential through the cultivation capabilities to start for ethical values. In this regard, I think in the word of technological revolution in the role of HR has also entirely changed. There are some recent trends can be observed in the field of human resource planning. It's called using artificial intelligence. Nearly every industry uses artificial intelligence, AI, to simplify the process. Human resource is no different. One of 2020 HR trends in incorporating move AI tools into everyday operation for better efficiency and workflow. For most of companies, their first implementation of AI-based HR tools is in the talent acquisition. Companies that embrace AI will see significant reduction in time to hire and a measurable improvement in the candidate's experience. For example, using chatbots to correspondent with the candidate would free up hours of your time each week. HR professional can also use AI to perform, verify experience and education listed on candidates' resumes, manage employee performance, answer employees' HR questions, customize suggestion for care path, professional development options, etc. for each employee. Data-driven strategies. Today, more than every numbers are power, and human resources are not being left behind in the big data revolution. More and more companies are using data about their employees to improve staff recruitment process, increase company productivity, and detect logistics error. These new trends have led to cunning of the popular term, people analytics. The intensive use of data to make decisions that affect people at work. Emphasis of learning HR. HR departments should focus on helping employees achieve their learning goals, whether it's personal or professional development. Employees who feel their growth is supported by their employer will be more engaged, motivated, and productive, where professional growth and development will continue to be important. We anticipated the increase of personal growth incentives, and employee career may last 30 to 40 years. However, taking into account the speed of technology change, how can we prepare ourselves for what is likely to happen in the coming decades? The solution is continuous learning. We can no longer content ourselves with going to university and basing our future career on what we learned during those years. Our career has become a journey of continuous learning. How can HR encourage employees to take control to their personal and professional learning paths? HR should try. Offer annual education stipend, require and pay for the last one annual professional development course for every employee and manager, aid paid time for volunteering and educational opportunities to employee, leave allotments, ask employees to their professional and personal goals, their annual self-assessment, mobile-friendly recruitment. In 2020, teach swab and job seekers will expected to be able to find jobs on their mobile device and apply for them on go instead of having to wait to do so. Most adults have mobile devices, and for some, it is their only way to access the internet. As a result of mobile-friendly website is one of the most essential HR trends to flow. If it is allowed, hard to read, difficult to use on mobile, you risk losing out of qualified candidates who have done their process. A mobile-friendly recruitment system also makes HR professional jobs easier. If you need to travel or work or have a long commute on public transit, you can still screen of communicate the candidates. Then the next trend is talent acquisition. And next is a new way of appraising employee performance. And the striking balance between machine and workers is the last trend. These are the main 7 trends I found. To the time extent, I am thankful to Professor Naik. He has given this opportunity to interact with all the participants and candidate academicians. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Sanyal sir. On behalf of IBM and Zakir Hussain Institute, we express our hearty gratitude for your gracious presence here and delivering the excellent address to the participants. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Chandawat sir. So there is a slight change as we are having a presidential address before this invited address. So due to network congestion, Hota sir was not joined, but now he is available with us. So it's a time for a presidential address, and I like to welcome our today's president of this one-day session, Professor M.N. Hota sir. He is working as a professor of computer science and director at Bharatiya Vidyapit Institute of Computer Applications and Management, New Delhi. He has over 22 years of experience in academics in different capacities. Prior to joining to the member of board level committee of prior to joining academics, he has initially worked as a corporate as a software engineer. He is an expert member of many board level committees of DST, CSIR, and MHRD. The member of Academic Council of GGSIP University, New Delhi, since last 12 consecutive terms from 2006. He has also served 3 terms as a member of Board of Management, that is the apex management body of the university, and 1 term as a member of Court of GGSIP University, New Delhi. He is the editor-in-chief of International Journal of Information Technology, BJIT, indexed the world's premier abstract and indexing database like DBLP, Germany, INSPEC, UK, Google Scholar, USA, etc. Being published by Springer Nature, the world's largest publisher of scientific documents. The journal is also enlisted the UGC list of approved journals. So, with all these words, I like to welcome Professor Dr. M.N. Hoda sir for presidential address. Yes, Hoda sir. Yeah, please unmute, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon to one and all. My elder brother, Professor A.K. Nayak, who is the main person behind all these programs.
Thank you, bhai.
Professor Manas, Dr. Opender, Dr. Chundawat. It's my proud privilege to be part of this wonderful program. At the outset, I want to congratulate and compliment my elder brother, Professor A.K. Nayak, whom I always say that he's an encyclopedia of Northeast in terms of computer science and IT education. If you see during lockdown, the way he has converted this lockdown period into an opportunity, and the kind of the webinars, the diversity of the topics, and the frequency of conducting the webinars, probably this must be a world record which Professor Nayak has done.
Thank you, very younger brother. Thank you.
Anyone who does this kind of program, he knows how much efforts are required to conduct such programs. Your blood and sweats are taken out of this, and that much effort at this junction, if is put in by Professor Nayak, it is an inspiration to all of us. And for this only, I remember two couplets of a great poet, that जो सफर की शुरुआत करते हैं वो मंजिल तो पा ही लेते हैं, जो सफर की शुरुआत करते हैं वो मंजिल तो पा ही लेते हैं, क्योंकि अच्छे मुसाफिर का तो रास्ते भी इंतजार करते हैं. So I look forward these webinars to be continued in the same way in future as well. I think the kind of the detailed addresses which Honorable Chief Guest Professor Manas, and then keynote address by Dr. Opender, and then another invited talk by Professor Chundawat, the kind of the deliberation on this topic which has been done is tremendous, and there is no further need to talk on this topic. However, I again want to compliment Professor Nayak and his entire organizing team to keep this webinar absolutely on such an apt topic which is required and which will remain evergreen. The planning for human resource planning for next decade. My dear friends, let me tell you in the beginning that entire world has agreed that unless your manpower, unless your workforce, unless your human resources are prepared to take up the challenges, probably the kind of the work which we are expecting will not get fulfilled. I'm a student of computer science, and in computer science, the most structured quality model which came was CMM, Capability Maturity Model. And almost after 2 decades, the philosophy behind CMM could not get implemented properly. So finally, people realized that the people who are ultimately writing softwares, the people who are implementing all these 3 P's, you know that there are 4 P's: people, process, project, and product. So once the people are not capable enough, if the people are not skilled enough, if the manpower and the workforce has not been trained properly, then whatever maturity, whichever quality we are expecting, that will never come. And we all know that every coming day, and that's how, because of that understanding, the CMM people came up with another model for the purpose of quality, and that model is known as PCMM, People's Capability Maturity Model. CMM is fine, but can we have such a model which will talk about the maturity of the people who are working for development of those kind of projects? And that's how the value of this topic is coming from, that People's Capability Maturity Model. Let me tell you in beginning that in the backdrop of all these, if we realize that change is only constant, if we think that I have been trained and I was working fine, my strategies are working fine, and it has given me payoff in last 2 decades, last 3 decades, and probably the same strategy will work fine in future as well, we are mistaken. It is not going to work fine. We have to find out a mechanism to re-skill people. And that's how everywhere it is being spoken, that re-skilling of human resources, aligning human resources as per the requirement of the new age, as per the requirement of 21st century, as per the requirement of the redefined processes is the need of the hour. And that's the topic on which all the speakers have spoken. Let me also tell you that gone are those days when we used to say that if you can read, write, and speak, you are considered as educated. Gone are those days, my dear friends. Now, in the digital age, even the very fundamental definition of educated people have also changed. And the fundamental definition of educated people in digital age in 21st century is if you can learn, unlearn, and relearn. And that's how Professor Nayak has identified this topic and has organized this webinar. So we need to continuously believe in this philosophy that learn, then unlearn, and relearn. Unless we continue, unless we practice this philosophy, probably we will never remain relevant in coming days. And that's how I keep on telling people that there is nothing constant in this world, there is nothing constant on this earth except change. And we all have to change upfront in a proactive manner before we are being changed because of the changes in the required skill set, because of the external competitions, because of the changing ecosystem. And that's how I keep on saying, I'm a student of Aligarh Muslim University, so for everything I have connected to some poetry, some couplet. In change, we say that इंसान घर बदलता है, लिबास बदलता है, रिश्ते बदलता है, दोस्त बदलता है. हम सब कुछ बदलते हैं. इंसान घर बदलता है, लिबास बदलता है, रिश्ते बदलता है, दोस्त बदलता है, फिर भी परेशान क्यों रहता है? क्योंकि हम खुद को नहीं बदलते. हमें अपने आप को बदलने की जरूरत है. And that's how the great poet Ghalib said that उम्र भर गालिब यही भूल करता रहा, उम्र भर गालिब यही भूल करता रहा, धूल चेहरे पे थी और मैं आईना साफ करता रहा. तो हम ये नहीं कहेंगे कि टेक्नोलॉजी ने हमें एब्सोल्यूट कर दिया, टेक्नोलॉजी ने हमें इररिलेवेंट बना दिया. टेक्नोलॉजी. Am I audible, sir?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So I was telling you that the change is the only constant phenomena on this earth, and that's how the great poet has said that इंसान घर बदलता है, लिबास बदलता है, रिश्ते बदलता है, दोस्त बदलता है, फिर भी परेशान क्यों रहता है? क्योंकि हम खुद को नहीं बदलते. And that's how the great poet has said that उम्र भर गालिब यही भूल करता रहा, धूल चेहरे पे थी और मैं आईना साफ करता रहा. We all have to believe in change. We all have to ensure that we have to keep changes implemented continuously, otherwise will become irrelevant, otherwise will become redundant. And I'm sure the kind of the deliberations, the 3 deliberations I have already seen, I have already listened of this program, and the forthcoming deliberation which have been organized by Professor Nayak, and such a senior people have been invited to speak in this program. I'm sure that this will implement the philosophy of learn, unlearn, and relearn. This is the only philosophy which will keep us relevant, which will keep us up to date, which will keep us re-skilled, and our skills will remain aligned towards this. I'm extremely sorry because my network connection today, I don't know why, is very poor. I'm being disconnected again and again. So instead of, and all of you must be waiting for your lunch also. So I don't want to stand between you and your lunch. And I'm thankful to Professor Nayak and his entire organizing team who gave me this opportunity to interact with you all. Professor Nayak is not only a professor, is my elder brother, and that's how he has all rights to tell me any moment and order me any moment. And all of us in Computer Society of India, in Indian Society for Technical Education, in IT, and in all societies, in professional bodies, are such that when Professor Nayak tells to anyone, no one can say no. No one can dare to say no. That's the kind of respect we all have for Professor Nayak, and that is a kind of value addition which Professor Nayak keeps on doing and taking care of everyone. So thank you so much to all of you, and I'm personally thankful to the entire organizing team who invited me. My dear friends, this entire process of change, this entire process of realigning ourselves, reskilling ourselves for the purpose of this requirement is basically to keep us,
for information.
bring us from darkness to light, to bring us from ignorance to knowledge. And that's how a great poet has said that उजाले अपनी आंखों में महफूज कर लो, उजाले अपनी आंखों में महफूज कर लो means keep power of knowledge, keep power of unlearn and learning, keep power of learn, unlearn and relearn, keep power of re-skilling as internal part of your personality. So उजाले means power of knowledge, अपनी आंखों में महफूज कर लो, keep part of your personality, because there will be huge challenges in coming decade. There will be huge challenging before us, and we can't face those challenges unless we re-skill ourselves. So the poet says that उजाले अपनी आंखों में महफूज कर लो, बड़ी दूर तक रात ही रात होगी, मुसाफिर हो तुम भी, मुसाफिर है हम भी, किसी मोड़ पे फिर मुलाकात होगी. Thank you so much. We'll meet again and wish you all the best for this program, and grateful to Professor Nayak and the entire organizing team. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, my beloved younger brother. मैं भी आपको कॉम्प्लीमेंट करना चाहता हूं. ना हर रात को चांद नसीब होता है, ना हर रात को चांद नसीब होता है, ना हर इंसान को मंजिल प्राप्त होता है, ना हर इंसान को मंजिल प्राप्त होता है, ना हर व्यक्ति को आपका जैसे छोटे भाई मिलता है, ना हर व्यक्ति को आपका जैसे छोटा भाई मिलता है, ना हर समारोह में इतना विद्वान का संगम होता है. Thank you very much, my dear younger brother. Thank you very much, and for your excellent presidential address. And you are always a well-wisher of the IIPM. You are very attached with our group. And what formal thankfulness or gratefulness will be delivered to you. Thank you very much. In spite of you are now at Darbhanga, at your own native place, we are very much proud. In such a young age you have achieved the scale of height, and you are a son of soil, but who are our coordinating point at Delhi, in the capital of the India, and always when we are there, and we are with Dr. Huda. Thank you very much, younger brother.
My privilege, sir. You have always been an elder brother. You will remain elder brother. Thank you so much for all your blessings.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Aman Huda sir, and thank you so much, Naik sir. So now we will move further, and it's a time for another invited address, and our another invited address is given by Dr. Dinesh Kumar Singh. Dr. Dinesh Kumar. Dr. Dinesh Kumar is doctorate in Human Resource Management from Shiksha O Anusandhan University, Bhubaneswar, and presently working as an Assistant General Manager HRM in Bank of Baroda, and posted at Zonal HR Head of Delhi Zone. He has authored more than 22. He is having more than 22 years of experience of handling HR matters in Bank of Baroda and about 9 years in Indian Air Force. He has also received Rajya Bhasha Gaurav Puraskar 2016 from the President of India for his book entitled Samavesh Banking, and also emerged HRD Thinking Award 2006 from ISTD New Delhi, and more than 3 dozen research papers, conference papers have been published in various national, international journals. Apart from 3 books titled as Inclusive Banking, Fundamental of Training and Development, Inclusive Economy, and 1 book titled Krishi EVM MSME par COVID ka prabhav. His academic and professional qualifications are CAIIB, Diploma in Training and Development, PG Diploma, IP, PM, LLB, LLM, Master in Labor Management, MBA, HR and OB, MPhil Management, and PhD in HR. So with all these words, I like to welcome our another invited address, Dr. Dinesh Kumar sir, for invited address.
Namaskar. Thank you, Rohit. Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. Dinesh, you are completely audible.
हाँ, सबसे पहले नमस्कार नायक साहब को. नायक साहब को मैं करीब 8-10 साल बाद देख रहा हूँ स्क्रीन पर. जब मैं पटना में था तब नायक साहब से मुलाकात हुई थी, तो आपने मुझे इनवाइट किया, एंड आई एम थैंकफुल टू यू सर. एंड आई एम आल्सो रेस्पेक्टेड मानस सान्याल सर, respected Upinder Dhar sir, respected Hoda sir, respected Chudawat sir, and इतने बड़े लोगों को सुनने के बाद मैं उनके चरणों की धूल भी नहीं हूँ. मुझे पता है कि मैं इतना मतलब इतने लर्नेड लोगों के सामने में कुछ भी नहीं हूँ, बट फिर भी मेरे को क्योंकि ये मौका मिला है, तो डेफिनेटली आई वुड लाइक टू से समथिंग, एंड आई वुड लाइक टू express my view where we look HR in 2030.
Yeah, I think there is a network error.
बहुत अच्छा चल रहा था.
Yeah, सर का आई थिंक कि नेटवर्क थोड़ा कंजेशन हुआ है.
कनेक्ट हो जाएंगे. इज ए वेरी गुड स्पीकर.
He is still connected sir.
इनको सुनना बहुत जरूरी है क्योंकि इंडस्ट्री पर्सन है. इज द इंडस्ट्री स्पीकर.
Yes sir.
हमारा साथ बहुत सीनियर पर्सनालिटी ज्वाइंट है. रोहित, यू मस्ट वेलकम डॉक्टर विष्णुई, डॉक्टर वेणुगोपाल.
Yeah, good morning sir.
Senior personalities with us, and it is a proud moment for the webinar that they have joined with us.
Yes sir. Yeah, Venugopal sir is also joined sir.
Dr. Vishnu is there also.
Good morning, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Good morning. Good morning. How are you?
Fine, sir. Fine.
Dr. Vishnu.
हाँ जी सर, बोल रहा हूँ सर. आवाज आ रही है सर?
हाँ हाँ. Dr. Vishnu, are you from Odisha or in which part of the country?
बीकानेर, राजस्थान, sir.
Oh, Bikaner, Rajasthan. Yes, once. Oh, once prior to once we have also talked together.
Yes, sir.
Bikaner. Yes. Always I am a confusion that Odisha there are some title of Vishnu also.
I am from Bikaner, sir.
Bikaner, very good. So nice of you. Dinesh ji. You get connected. We are waiting. Okay. Rohit?
Yes sir.
Rohit?
Yes.
Yeah, Dinesh is just getting connected.
Sure sir. We will wait sir. Yeah, now Venugopal sir is also connected sir.
Venugopal sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Welcome.
Right from the beginning, sir.
Dr. Venugopal, welcome.
I am right from the beginning, sir, in the session. I was in the session right from the beginning.
No, that I am marking. Madam is also crossing through the door. You are sitting in the home. That's very good. Sir, you are from which place?
I am from Hyderabad, sir.
Very good.
Hyderabad, sir. Working as a professor of MBA.
Arey bah, that's so nice of you.
Engineering college, sir.
So nice of you. You are most welcome, and we will request you kindly join with our forthcoming event also. Perhaps next week we will be having the emerging demand of financial planning for the growth of business and industry.
Sir, now Dinesh sir is joined, sir.
Oh, joined.
Sorry, in fact, Rohit, you have to help me one thing. That in fact, there is some issue in my computer, the connectivity issue. So I have connected with my mobile.
Okay, sir.
So the only thing that my presentation you have to share from your end.
Sir, just WhatsApp me your presentation. I am sharing.
I have already emailed you.
Sure, sir.
I have already emailed you. आपका email आया था, उसी पे मैंने response कर दिया है. And my email okay, and
in a short while I just share it, sir.
So by the time you connect it, but I'll start. So hey. First of all, I'm sorry for from everybody that I got disconnected. And when you predict, the prediction, the topic for today is that HR planning in 2030.
and when you need to predict for 2030, then definitely there is a risk, because prediction cannot always be correct. That prediction may be 50% right, or 100% right, or 90% right, or sometimes 10% right, or may not be right. I remember a story, और अदर एक जोक, इसमें लड़का लड़की से कोई लेना देना नहीं है, बट बहुत पहले एक जाट भाई थे, और उन्होंने जो है वो पंडित जी के पास गए, उन्होंने बोला मेरे को हाथ देख के बताओ कि जो है ये मेरे लड़का होगा या लड़की। तो पंडित जी ने, am I audible ना?
Yes, yes.
तो पंडित जी ने बोला कि मुझे तो, पंडित जी को लगा कि अगर लड़की बोला तो पैसा नहीं मिलेगा, so he said कि मैं जो है पुत्रम ना पुत्री। So जाट भाई became very happy कि भाई पुत्र होगा, पुत्री नहीं होगी, and पैसा दिया और he became very happy. कुछ दिनों बाद जब बच्चा पैदा हुआ तो लड़की पैदा हुई। मेरा कोई लड़की से कोई वो नहीं है, मैं पहले क्लैरिफाई कर दूं, जैसे जस्ट टू जोक। तो जब लड़की पैदा हुई तो फिर वो जाट भाई लट लेके गए कि भाई तूने क्यों ऐसे बोला, तो मेरी तो लड़की पैदा हुई। तो पंडित जी ने कहा भाई मैंने तो यही कहा था पुत्रम न पुत्री, कि पुत्र नहीं पुत्री पैदा होगी। So somehow when you predict that whatever we try, that is based upon what I want to say, that this is based upon our experience, whatever we are sharing, and maybe 100% right, or maybe 90% right, or maybe 10% right. Having said this, now I'll go to I have divided my presentation for my discussion in 5 points. That before we want to go, Rohit, please go to next slide. I quote Peter Drucker: the best way to predict the future is to create it. What we plan it, if we are able to create the planning, we are able to plan, we are able to create, then definitely we can create the future, and we can predict the future also. So definitely HR is meant for the organization. So what organization will be there in future in 2030, how the organization will be looking, that is one of my imagination based upon my experience of last 2 to 3 decades, that how the organization will be looking after 10 years. Then second my slide, or second part of my slide is, that is what will be the challenges before the organization, means when this organization will be, how this organization will be looking, and then how this organization will be, what are the challenges will be there. Then because in next 10 years, one of the generation at least will be going out of this industry. So definitely new millennial people will be joining, new young generation will be joining, and what will be their temperaments, that also I'll be discussing. And what will be the challenge, and in this context, what will be the challenges before the HR, that I'll be basically, that is the basic aim of this conference, and how this HR problem will be solved in the future coming in future organization. That is how I have divided my presentation, and request Rohit ji to please go to the next slide. See, there are 3 types of organization. Already these organizations are existing, but their ratio will be increasing in a different way. First is manufacturing organization, which we are already having. Suppose say Tata Steel or coal production or anything with all manufacturing productions. These organizations will be in a different shape, and their HR requirement will be also different. Why I am dividing this? Because their HR requirement of any manufacturing organization will be different. Then second will be service organization like banking industry, insurance industry. Their HR requirement will be also different. And third will be the virtual organization. Means we will be having only name of the organization, but we will not be having, that is brick and mortar less organizations. Even today also we have got a few brick and mortar less organization. Has anybody heard about, has anybody seen the office of Ola, Uber, where this company exists? Probably no, except their back-end office, that where they just make their financial planning and HR planning. Except that few people, where 100 to 200 people must be sitting, but remaining people are whole Ola, Uber industry is working, but there's no organization exist as such. Like Amazon and Flipkart, there is no organization exist as such. So Professor Rohit, kindly go to the next slide. So this is how the organization will be looking. This is one of the imagination of the my imagination of the next in 2030, how the organization will be. That there will be one parent organization, and there will be no number of sister concern, because in fact there are two different problems with the big organizations. Just a minute, hold down. Just a minute, hold down. Yeah, I'm audible now. I'm sorry for disturbance. Rohit sir, I'm audible.
Yes.
So this there will be one parent organization, and the size of the parent organization will be not big. Maybe 200 people, 300 people, 500 people. There will be very less organization who will be having, say, the capacity of employee strength of more than 10,000, 15,000, 20,000. Why I say that? And this is my presumption is also based upon the industrial relation code, which now have been approved by the government, and has come into force. Most of the MSMEs, most of the organizations, they will try to create new organizations, sister organizations, then dependent organizations. Most of the job will be, I mean to say that by creating different organizations, or otherwise connecting with different organizations, this organization will be having means they can have strength there less, and whenever they want to close the organization, if a working unit is not working or if unit is problem, then they can easily close the organization. That is how they will be the organization will be looking to in future. So I'll request Professor Rohit to go further, please. So what trends will change the HR? Number one trends in the Indian economy, that is LPG, liberalization and privatization and globalization. Second is the world is becoming VUCA world, where is volatility, uncertainty, complexity, ambiguity will be there. As we are already facing COVID, not only COVID, even at economic level, political level, social level, there will be a lot of ambiguity, lot of uncertainty may be there. Then challenges before the organizations will be creating a business strategy and adopting right technology and producing quality concerned product, and keeping the cost effectiveness and managing the system, etc. And then recession, which we have already faced because of COVID, that will be going for another 3 to 4 years, even if you want to come out of that recession. So, Professor Rohit, please go to the next slide. Yeah. So, what organization need to do? What they have to do? Then the organization have to integrate their HRD processes with HRD strategy. Means or they have to integrate their HRD processes with business strategy. Of course, in last 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, as already earlier spokesperson like Manas sir and Upinder sir has already told that we were having personal management, but now we have moved from personal to HRD. Now HRD to business strategic business partner. So HRD has to become a HR business partner. And then organization have to create a high speed organization where once the decision is taken, decision is implemented very fast. Then organization have to be sleek, as I already discussed, that as less employee can be engaged and maximum automation will be possible. That is how organization will be running and will be creating. And then knowledge management, as already told earlier speaker, I think Huda sir, that the important thing will be learning, unlearning and relearning. That is how these employees will be there, whether they are able to unlearn or relearn. That will decide the fate of the organization. Then flat structure. Now the new generation, they do not respect. We say that they don't respect, but in fact they respect. But they do not want hierarchy-based organization. Even in our family, whatever they, जैसे हम अपने पिताजी के सामने जाने से डरते थे, हमारा बच्चा हमारे से सामने आने से डरता नहीं है, because he wants, we have to. So like that in organization also, that there will be no hierarchy will, but at the same time authority will be there. It's not that the authority will be not there. Then organization will be goal driven and not procedure driven. Result oriented organization have to be there. Then there are 3 C's which can change the organization, that is competence, commitment and culture. So competence, commitment and culture have to be changed. And then in culture, when we call it about culture, that is octopus culture, where octopus means O means openness. Organization is such where that O for openness, C for confrontation, T for trustworthiness, A for autonomy, P for proaction, A for authenticity, C for collaboration, E for experiment. This is how I divide the octopus. And there's we have to capture the complex employee preferences and employee realities. That employee preferences are different and realities of employer is different. Employee wants higher salary. Employer is unable to pay the salary that much. Employee wants work from home. Employer may not be able to accommodate for work from home. Employee wants flexible working hours. Employer may not be able to give flexible hours, working hours. इसके बीच में हमको कहीं तालमेल बिठाना पड़ेगा. That is how we have to run the organization. That is how we have to carry our HRD. Next, please. So before that, before I go for the HRD, I'll also say about something about the temperament of new millennial. The temperament of new millennial will be that he will be having more focus on individual aspect, and he will be expecting value-based compensation. कि जितना उसने काम किया उसमें से एक पैसा उसका कम नहीं होना चाहिए. That is how the expectation will be there. In earlier days, हम उसको बहुत सारी चीजें सहन कर लेते थे, but new millennial may not be accepting. Then new millennial is tech savvy. They are users friendly, active social media. They are using social media and very actively. And because of this social media, they will be able to means whatever wrong happens in the organization, even if something is wrong happens, in some communication gap is there in the organization, that will immediately flash in the market, and it will spoil the organization's image. Even already sometimes it is happening in the social media, Facebook and WhatsApp. People criticize their organization openly. Then healthy and work-life balance have to be maintained. That will be the expectation from the new millennial. And flexible working hours with right output, that will be expectation from the of new millennial. I was going through the ways while presentation were going. I have also read 2 questions raised by one of the faculty. That is how this work from home is going to be useful. What about the organization rules and regulations? So, my dear, this question was placed in the question box, chat box, and I think that I should address this question also while addressing this point. that see there will be number of we have to be multi-skilled. एंड अभी तक हम लोगों के पास क्या था कि जब भी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में हम एक ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में काम करते थे, एक ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में 8 से 10 घंटे बैठते थे और 10 घंटे बैठ करके काम करके चले जाते थे. लेकिन अभी जो आने वाले दिनों में जो ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में लोग जो चाहेंगे वो हमें 4 आवर्स के जॉब की भी जरूरत होगी. There are certain jobs in organizations which are hardly requiring 4 hours to 5 hours job. So what about remaining hours? But because he is attached with one organization, he is drawing salary from that organization. What we do, we pay 1 lakh salary, and at the same time we ask to remain 8 hours in the premises. But in the future, probably this will be changing. Maybe 4 to 5 hours he will be working, and maybe we may not be required to pay, as an employer, we may not be required to pay 1 lakh salary. He will be happy with 80,000 salary. But he will say that, okay, I want only 5 hours job, so that he can devote his time somewhere else. That is how one faculty also raised another question in chat box. That is, salary is reduced, how to solve the problem? There is no motivation for this faculty. My dear friends, it is because of COVID, definitely this problem is there. But in 2030, means in coming days, these all problems will be solved. And I am hopeful that even if the organization may be also requiring flexible working hours, organization may be engaging people for the hardly 2 hours, 3 hours job, and same time even people also will be loving to work for only 2 hours, 3 hours job, because they will have 2-3 organizations. They will pick up 2-3 organizations. जैसे अभी कोचिंग में ट्यूशन पढ़ाते हैं लोग कि जो है 2-3 जगहों पे जाके ट्यूशन पढ़ाते हैं. So something like that will be happening in some organizations also. Not in all organizations, but something will be happening. And then or the individual will be liking that his private life and professional life is separated. Presently, even night 10 o'clock, my boss calls me and he says, "Are Dinesh, what happened to this fellow, this thing, that thing?" And sometimes he gives me instruction also कि रात को ऐसा करना, ये कर लेना, and सुबह 10 बजे हम लोग presentation दे देंगे. But new millennial people will not be liking this, and he will also like transparency in dealing. He will also like value and ethical based organization. That organization he will be attaching the organization which are value based and ethical based, and social security का एक issue रहेगा उनके लिए. That is how new millennial will be expecting. So my presentation, this is the background I have worked on this, that how the organization will be looking and how the new millennial will be, what will be the expectation of the new millennial. So now, based upon this, then I have created a vision for that how the HR will be looking. Please go to the next slide, Professor Rohit. Professor Rohit, please go to the next slide.
Already we are in that next slide.
Okay. So how the next new organization will be looking? So new organization will be looking where most of the jobs will be replaced by the machine. And when the jobs will be replaced by the machine, especially in production organization, even in service organization, even in you can see Ola and Uber, most of the job organization means everything has been occupied by the machine. When the machine is occupying the job will be challenging and complex. Core competency has to be changed. जो भी core competency जो आज तक available थी, that may not be suitable to the next millennial. So that when the core competency will be changed, so everybody have to be changed. And if you are not changing, then you will be abolished from the market. So that is how that it means there will be more different skills will be required, and that skill person will be deficient. So we have to understand which type of skill will be available in the market in future, and we have to develop that skill. Then increase outsourcing. Outsourcing में increase होगा, जो कि जैसे मैंने बताया, because parent organization will be just assembling. Even if I am having suppose I have a factory of motorbike, so I'll be just assembling. Everything will be prepared, or everything will be prepared somewhere else. I'll be just, my factory will be just assembling, and I'll be modeling my name, and I'll be putting it in the market. Then employee loyalty, that has to be taken care. Then uncertainty of availability of HR, whether the people who are having skilled persons, that will be available, how long it will be available, that will be a question mark on the in future. Then the HR has to also manage the remote employees, work from home, work from anywhere, anytime working. These all will be the issues before the HR, and the HR has to handle these. Role of union, we were presuming that role of union will be going in negative, but role of union will be going in positive sense, because if we are not able to handle union, if we are not able to handle properly, that is how happened in recently in December. We have, as you must be aware, that there have been a incident of iPhone company where the massacre happened, and all employees destroyed the factories, machine and material, and factory has said that 437 crore, they have suffered a loss of 437 crore. So then that also we have to be, HR has to tackle that also. I'll request the please go further. So no, next. Yeah. So I have given 7 guiding steps which can help the organization to come out this situation. That is, one is, great organization do not just happen but manage. Organization have to be managed. Transition have to be managed. That is led by people. This transition have to be led, and led has been to be done by people. And organization have to keep the people first, not the so far we in old organization, when the personal management was there, we were taking the people for granted. But now the people will not be for granted. You have to keep them motivated. Then commitment for people management, the roles and responsibility will be have to be clear, and real time based performance management. So far we are using performance management system, which is evaluating employees after 1 year. But when we will be having work from home, work from anywhere, work from anytime, definitely his performance has to be managed on daily basis, on event basis. So that will be another guiding step for the future. Then co-creation and innovation, this changing environment, and for this changing environment, so resources have to be leveraged, and embracing diverse and inclusive workplace, because number of people, number of male, female, even generations in an organization, four generations will be working together, and each will be having their value and ethics will be different, their thought process will be different. That also have to be taken care by the HR. And decentralization of service and decision making, as many, because we need fast organization where the organization can take fast decision. So definitely this have to be decentralized. Decision making have to be decentralized, and procedure and policies have to be simplified, and that is possible through the automation and result based approach we have to adopt. That is how we have, these are the 7 guiding steps which we'll be following. And please go to the next slide. Then how HR can solve? My next means I'm at the concluding end, that how HR can solve these problems. One is the most important thing, tool will be the HR, with the HR or with any organization, will be artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning, means technology. Technology will be solving most of our problems, because these problems looking very complicated, but these problems can be easily solved from technology. Based upon the sociology, social, technological, economic, environmental, and political factors which were existing for last 20 to 30 years, we can predict how the organization will be surviving, what will be our competitor, what will be this. To some extent, based upon our artificial intelligence, we will be able to predict our future. And once we know that what will be the future, then we have to change our change management approach. We have to approach the change management in such a way, and then create a supporting culture where we create an organizational culture where the people start organizing, or we are giving performance result oriented service. Then we have to connect this our planning, HR strategic planning, HR strategy with the strategy of the organization, with the strategy of the based upon intelligence, artificial intelligence. We have to connect both HR and this strategy. Then, as I really told, that there will be no number of contextual assignments. These contextual assignments have also to be managed, and this will be based upon the performance and knowledge management. There may be fraud cases also, because when you go for highly rely upon technology, there may be cases where you have to cases of fraud, even in the industry itself. Maybe that one of your employee may be selling your own strategy outside of the organization. That is how that also may take place. So we have to be careful, and performance management have to be related with the help of artificial intelligence and privacy in data. One more issue will be that how the private data will be kept private. That is, as we are listening, WhatsApp is not now doing private, means linking this with Facebook. So Chundawar sir or Dhar sir, I exactly don't remember, that mobile friendly job. That is how I presume that a beautiful world will be in 2030. Like when we are booking our Ola Uber. Nowadays in metros we are booking our plumber, electrician. We want an electrician. We go to the mobile and search that we want electrician. That is how this will be going for the skilled jobs. So far, these services are available for semi-skilled job. But in future, probably Nayak sir will be asking when I want to attend a conference, or I want to present a guest speaker, become a guest speaker, and I'll go to the website of Nayak sir, and I'll see that where the conference is going and where my interest topic is there, and I'll be submitting my CV, and Nayak sir will be selecting that, Professor Rohit will be selecting that, okay, Dr. Dinesh Kumar is there for this such type of presentation. So that's how this HR can solve the problem. Artificial intelligence will be helping. Please go to the next slide. Then people, this is how I'm talking, that I have talked about the macro level, that but when we come to the micro level of the organization, that ultimately HR has to work for micro level organization also. Then pupil analytics, जो उनके पास लोग हैं, उनकी क्या current work performance है, what is their business strategy, what is the skill they required, what is the gap they they want to fill in. Then attract such people, whether they want to fill in it from their own, from inside or from outside. If they want to from outside, then they have to attract, retain and reward. Even from the inside, then also they have to attract, motivate to take a extra responsibility and reward him. Then HR has to be people centric. As I already told, that HR have to be people centric. Gone are the days will be coming and sitting for 10 hours or 8 hours in an organization. If he wants today, maybe tomorrow he will log in that, okay, tomorrow I have got some job. मेरे घर में जो है बच्चे का birthday celebration है, and I want only 4 hours job, and he will be working only for 4 hours job. I'm happy to share, sir, that even in our bank, we have initiated a concept that is Baroda Now, and we are in the process of introducing flexi working hours, flexi jobs on digital platform. So like that, every organization will be going like that, and need-based learning and development have to be done by the HR. HR have to help the people to learn and learn, unlearn and relearn. Then diversity management and diversity, as already told, that number of female employees, male employees, different caste employees, different places employees, employee working for 4 hours, employee working for 2 hours, employee only attending office for 3 days in a week. Such type of people have to be accommodated. Then inclusive working, inclusive management have to be done, and multi-generation workforce have to be managed. This HR will be solving this problem. This multi-generation, this all can be solved to some extent, rather to the large extent, with the help of artificial intelligence and technology, and remaining things can be solved by manually. Obviously, no artificial intelligence, no robotic, nothing can replace manpower or HR manager. Please go to the next slide. Then already I discussed that gig economy, that is short-term contracts. Maybe we may be needing some specialized function or some specialized consultancy. He will be coming for one week, or for 6 months, or 1 month. Such type of job. Freelancer, companies have to rely upon freelancers also. Then all these things will be possible, and HR has to also go for the employee satisfaction survey from time to time, because whatever the HR policy, we may feel that this is the best HR policy we have got, but no HR policy can be 100% perfect. There will be always a scope for improvement, and that employee satisfaction survey will be helping us. Then employee experience, onboarding, training and development, employee engagement to employee experience, recognition, career development, exit management. These have to be managed. I just want to share that so far HR in especially multinational organizations, they are famous that ये HR वाले करते क्या हैं, बोले जो है बर्थडे सेलिब्रेट करते हैं, रंगोली करवाते हैं, or something like that. But probably that may not be solving that employee engagement activity. Now we have to go for the beyond that. We have to keep the employee motive. We have to give employee delight rather than going for employee satisfaction. We have to go for the employee delight. That is how HR will be solving the problem. Please go to the next slide. Then this is my last slide. Before the last slide, I'll take the last point, that HR will be creating a respectful workplace. They have to create a respectful workplace. There is no prevention, there is no harassment, there is no sexual harassment, there is no case of sexual harassment, no abuse of authority. That has to be maintained by the HR, and that will be solved with that. If any such case, that will be solved by the HR. Then another approach, that is leadership approach. In fact, whenever we talk about HR, we always talk about HR officer or HR manager, AGM HR, zonal HR. But in fact, HR is nothing. We all managers are HR. And unless all managers behave like HR, that organization cannot get success. And that we have to approach the different type of leadership approach. So far, we have been leadership approach, authoritarian leadership approach, or participative management, and democratic style of management. This style of management may not be working properly for the future organization. We have to. In fact, I am trying to develop a different model of leadership, that is a transformational servant style of leadership. This it's not exactly. There are two different leadership style of leadership have been evolved in last 25 years. That is servant style of leadership, where the leader keeps himself as a servant first and the leaders last. And transformation is style of leadership because changes are taking place. So servant style of leadership is not exactly suiting to all organization. Same way, transformation organization style of leadership also is not also suiting to all organization. So I'm developing a model. I think that if I'm able to develop that model, I'll be sharing with all of you. That is Rishi Raj model of leadership. That where the leader is not only a servant, not only a leader. He is a basically Rishi. He is a first servant, but ultimately leader. Because whenever there will be conflict of interest, then leader will be taking the role of leader, and he will be exercising authority. But in the normal course, he will remain as a servant of the servant. Means he will be having the philosophy, not that he will be servant, but he will be having the philosophy, using the philosophy of servant leadership. That is how I presume that future will be like this, and this is how HR and management will be solving the problems of the future organization. With this, I conclude my speech, and I thank to everybody. Special thanks to Nayak sir for calling me as an invitation, and special thanks to Professor Manas Sanyal sir. I had read his name on website only, but I could see him face to face. Dr. Upinder sir, Dhar sir, thank you for valuable input, and Professor Chundawar sir, Professor Hoda sir. Before them, I know that I cannot give much lecture, but I have tried to justify whatever I had little bit of knowledge that I tried to share with all of you. Thank you to everybody. And over to Rohit, please. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Dinesh ji, for your excellent deliberation. And really, it was a fantastic presentation. And you did excellent. And during your speech, you have also interacted with the questions that have been put in the chat box. And what more can be done? Yeah. Excellent presentation, very practical approach. And I think the participants must have got much benefit from this out of your talk. And I can also tell Rohit, please tell if any question is there, they should ask Dinesh ji. And we had a very old relationship. Actually, Dinesh ji might be remembering when I was used to go to the Bank of Baroda in some academic programs. And in 1993, when Arun Kumarji was the senior branch manager of Sikeshnapuri branch, the entire Bank of Baroda people got computer training under my chairmanship at that time. At that time, I had been the chairman of Computer Society of India Patna chapter. Total, all the manpower of the Patna and all these things. At that time, I was fearing to enter to the bank because people were thinking that if I will be entering, their work can be disturbed. So we are having that kinds of relationship with the Bank of Baroda, and Bank of Baroda has supported this institute in a great way in many patterns. And IABM has been invited several times to provide the training program to take the evaluation in the participation in the evaluation procedure. And you had been there also in the zonal office, and I met you. Thank you very much for accepting our invitation and your excellent deliberation. I can tell it was really an industry presentation and a practical presentation. Thank you on behalf of IABM and the Accreditation Institute once again.
Thank you once again, sir. Thank you. In fact, I remember I came to your institute also once. You invited there also when I was in Patna for one of the conference, and there also I was a guest speaker. In fact, when I appeared for my promotion exercise, so there used to be one group discussion, and I remember that you were there in the group discussion as a assessor. Yourself and one more person, I forgot his name. Both of you were there, and I have been interacting with you. And of course, this time I could interact after a lot of time. That is, but I got your number. Now I'll be connected with you. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much. And during this pandemic period, I have networked with more than 300 speakers from the country. The people like you and many eminent speakers and more than 50 speakers networked from the abroad. And in the tune of the 78 Vice Chancellor have also addressed in our different webinars and seminar and virtual conferences.
Yeah, so thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dinesh, sir.
Yeah.
So now we will head towards our last session, that is the keynote address. And for that, I'd like to welcome Professor Ganesh Pandey, sir, who is the Deputy Director of Indian Institute.
Vote of thanks, not keynote address, vote of thanks.
Rohit sir, any question answer is there?
Sorry.
Rohit sir, any question answer is there?
It's question.
Yeah, one question
Rohit.
is also there, sir.
Any question answer is there?
Yeah. One
Rohit,
question
any
is there from a student.
Yeah, so you can take over if you want. You can take if time permits. If time permits, I don't know whether time permits or not.
Yeah, I just read
No.
question for
You
you,
take
sir.
one question.
Yeah, I just read that question for you, sir. The question is, what is the dress code policy which were added in the HR department in 2020?
Okay. Dress code.
Yeah, dress code in HR department. Your voice is breaking, sir. Sir, your voice is breaking.
Not able to hear you.
Yeah. Now it's fine.
थोड़ा problem हो रहा है. हाँ, अभी fine. हाँ, बोलिए. क्या question?
Yeah. The question is in the new HR policy of the in 2020. Is there any amendment or changes in the dress code?
Dress code. No, there is no dress code. There is no. I don't know what the question is. He's referring.
The question is not.
I have not got. Not clear. There is no question of dress code. I have called about industrial relation code. That is industrial relation code. We have government has published now recently. Gazette has come. There are Employment Standing Order Act and Trade Union Act and this Industrial Dispute Act. These all three have been clubbed. One more I don't remember. And these four have been clubbed, and that has been Industrial Relation Code. And this industrial, I think he must be referring that. There are changes to 300 less than 300 employees, then he will not be required to take permission from the government. So definitely government never gives the permission. So what the organizations are using, that what they do, that maximum cap limit is 300. So we will keep only 299 employees, 290 employees, 95 employees. So whatever these, suppose if I want 500 employees. So what I will do, I will keep one section, one organization as my parent organization, and I'll create another organization with 200 employees, and that production will be there. And assembling will be in the 300 in my organization. So these two organizations are created. Both are owned by me, but there are two different licenses. Though there are two different registrations. There are two different companies. There are two different balances. And that is how I skip from the Industrial Relation Code compulsions of, and I can hire and fire that employees. That is how means. That is what I wanted to say. Probably that he must be referring that only.
Okay, so thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, Rohit.
So now it's a time for vote of thanks, and for that I'd like to welcome Professor Ganesh Pandey, the Deputy Director of Indian Institute of Business Management, Patna. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Rohit. Honorable Chairman of the National Webinar, Professor A.K. Naik, Advisor, IIBM and JSI Group of Institution, immediate past President, Computer Society of India, and National Chairman, Academic and Award Committee of CSI, former President, ICT Section, Indian Science Congress, Honorable Chief Guest Professor Manas Kumar Sanyal, Vice Chancellor Kalyani University, West Bengal, Honorable Professor M.N. Hoda, Director Bharati Vidyapeeth, Institute of Computer Application and Management, New Delhi, Honorable Dr. Upinder Dhar, Vice Chancellor, Sri Vaishnavi Vidyapeeth, Vishwavidyalaya Indore, Madhya Pradesh, invited speaker Professor Daryab Singh Chunawat, Vice Chancellor Rajasthan State Higher Education Council, Jaipur, Rajasthan, invited speaker Dr. Dinesh Kumar, Assistant General Manager HRM and Zonal HR Head, Bank of Baroda, New Delhi, the staff and faculty member of IIBM, and dear participant of one-day national webinar. It is my privilege to express my sincere gratitude and present my vote of thanks for the Honorable Chairman of the function, Professor A.K. Naik, who has been instrumental for conducting near about 550 number of webinars under the banner of CSI at different locations of the country. कोविड पूरे साल होते रहा, लेकिन नायक सर की गाड़ी कभी रुकी नहीं, नायक सर की गाड़ी हमेशा चलती रही। वेबिनार, वर्चुअल कॉन्फ्रेंस लगातार होते रहा। आप सभी लोग देखते रहे, सभी लोग अटेंड करते रहे, सभी लोग सुनते रहे। अभी भी सर बताए कि 50 से एबव पार्टिसिपेंट, 50 से एबव जो स्पीकर थे इंडिया से बाहर के थे, करीब 70 से ऊपर वाइस चांसलर वेबिनार के अंदर आए। सर, you really helped in understanding the new topic as well as being nice and friendly to all the students. On the behalf of the IIBM Management Committee and student community, we express our sincere gratitude and thanks for delivering the inaugural address on this occasion. I am also equally thankful to Chief Guest Professor Manas Kumar Sanyal, Vice Chancellor Kalyani University. I am also equally thankful to Professor M.N. Hoda, Director Bharati Vidyapeeth Institute of Computer Application and Management, New Delhi. My special thanks goes to invited speaker Professor Daryab Singh Chunawat, Vice Chancellor Rajasthan State Higher Education Council, Jaipur, Rajasthan, and Dr. Dinesh Kumar, Assistant General Manager and Zonal HR Head, Bank of Baroda, New Delhi, for their gracious presence and addressing with their valuable words in the webinar. My expression of vote of thanks from the core of my heart to the keynote speaker, Dr. Upinder Dhar, Vice Chancellor, Sri Vaishnavi Vidyapeeth, Vishwavidyalaya Indore, Madhya Pradesh. I also express my sincere thanks to Professor Rohit Kumar for hosting the events. Last but not least, my sincere thanks goes to all participants of the webinar who made the event successful. Thank you all.
Thank you, Ganesh. Very excellent.
Thank you so much, sir. So now it's the end of our today's one-day virtual national conference on human resource planning for next decade. I pray God for the grand success of this one-day virtual conference, and with all the permission of the respected dignitaries, guests, I like to sign off today's meeting. Naik, sir.
Thank you. Announce our next event will be emerging demand of financial planning for growth of business and industry. Yes, emerging demand of financial planning for growth of business and industry.
So in the upcoming Saturday, we are also
you can make it.
Yeah, as a series of on management webinars, we are having on the 23rd of the January our next webinar. So if you want to find the registration link, you can just go to the Facebook. Our Facebook page name is IIBM Management Club. You can just find all the details over there. So thank you so much all of you for joining today's session, respected guests, dignitaries, and all dear participants. With all your permission, I like to sign off today's meeting. Thank